Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Hearts of Stone. We're here to play Blades in the Dark, and we're back as the last game of 2023 on this channel. So, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us and sending off this year with a bang. Before we get started with everything, I'm gonna go over announcements, all that, introduce people, and all that good stuff. But thank you for joining us here today. I think on the channel this week, I believe our next regularly scheduled game will be on Monday. If you enjoy what you see here today, we'll be back with more Red Jenny to start off 2024. I run that game as well. We play the Dragon Age TTRPG. It is at 8 o'clock Eastern time on Monday evening. So come join us for that. And then the rest of our lineup shows and all that, kind of where we're at right now on the channel, should be below our faces. If you're watching us live on Twitch, you can scroll down, see the full lineup of everything we do throughout the week, games that we play, and what systems we're running, and kind of get a vibe for them, and come hang out with us for all the other stuff we do on the channel. Programming is a little light right now, but we might have some more stuff in the works for 2024, so keep an eye out for that. And the best place that you can keep up to date with everything that we are doing, streaming or otherwise, is on our Discord. You can follow the links on our Twitch page and join us on Discord for all sorts of fun updates, or just to come hang out and chat with us on our channel. I don't have any other fun announcements for today, so I think considering the cliffhanger we left off on, everybody wants to just get into it, so I'm gonna go ahead and let my lovely players here introduce themselves, talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight, starting as always with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internets at Van But Wilder, pretty much wherever you can find people on the internets. I'm on Mastodon, I'm on Blue Sky, but mostly I'm hanging out in the Discord and streaming on Twitch a couple of times a week. You can find me over on twitch.tv/lbhackemup, playing Alien for a little bit more, and then Dungeons and Dragons on Sunday nights. And then here, most Saturday mornings, running a game of Dungeons and Dragons and playing in games throughout the week. Tonight, I am playing Glass, who is the Whisper.
And I believe that's me. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the internets at Greek Sid when I'm there. Not much at the moment. I'm here a couple nights a week, and tonight I am playing Salome. She's our spider.
Bienvenidos, Power Gamers! Hey everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch your RJustice282 on Twitter, Twitch, Blue Sky, TikTok, all the good socials. Today, I'll be playing Fume. He's the leech.
And I suppose that just leaves me. Hi, everybody. I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on the Indoor Adventures stream. But today I'm going to be playing as Grackle, who is our hound.
DanaeKeener.com. Yes. Last one of the year. I got it.
Hi everyone, I'm Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown, lurking around the internet. I'm here. Got a new schedule. I guess Saturdays through Mondays, playing and running games. Other than this game, playing a couple others, and I run the aforementioned Red Jenny stream. But yeah, today I'm your whatever, I forgot what it's called in this, Game Master. I think it's just called Game Master. Run Blades in the Dark.
You said just, and I just wanted to say you're just Ken.
Just Ken. No, I'm
Your job is Game Master.
All right. Are y'all ready to get started?
Yes.
Yes. All righty. Previously on Hearts of Stone, the crew, the obedient servants, were in the process between jobs, had dealt with a lot of drama involving demons and past and former co-workers, and copious injuries that you had sustained in the previous gig, a lot of fallout from that. However, one thing had come to your attention that you decided to sort of set your sights on as your next objective: a colleague, mentor, father figure of Grackle, the assassin Steiner, had been taken by or arrested by the Bluecoats not too long ago. You had received, or I guess Grackle had done some investigating and found out through some contacts with the police force in Dustfall that Steiner had been arrested, and through some more investigating using some contacts that your group shares, you had found out that Steiner had seemingly assaulted or attempted to kill a or allegedly, I said, attempted to assassinate a chief of the Blue Coats, and was sent to Iron Hook Prison as a result. Given that there seemed to be some connection here between Steiner's arrest, this alleged assassination attempt, and the Baron, who had been in attendance for this meeting between these three individuals, you decide the best course of action would be to get Steiner out of Iron Hook, potentially learn some more information, or at least keep some secrets hidden, especially in Steiner's connection to your operation. While scouting out, or you came up with this plan to fake Steiner's death at Iron Hook Prison through a workplace accident or some other accidental death, and to escape with the real Steiner in tow. The think about if there's any other elements of the plan. Yeah, I mean, where we kind of picked up with the job in the middle of the action was Grackle on Overwatch in the Dunslow Yards, outside of Iron Hook Prison, overlooking the labor camps where the workers, where the prisoners from Iron Hook Prison were taken to work the mire, these mines where they dig for precious minerals that keep Dunslow, keep Dustfall running. The rest of you were going to be posing as workers, some of the unfortunate working class of Dustfall, who had no better option but to live in this shanty town in the Dunslow Yard and work in the mire for their meager pay. You would try to catch Steiner while he was working in the labor camp and enact your plan. You had learned that Steiner was scheduled to be, or essentially was facing execution in the coming days, and you had a limited amount of time to get him out. There's a lot of grappling over how you were going to exactly enact this plan, but going along with the this operation as outlined, while the three Glass, Salome, and Fume went to infiltrate the mire, or this workforce, from her vantage point, Grackle had found or scoped out Steiner coming on in a caravan from Iron Hook Prison, and very quickly identified that Steiner was being pulled away by some of the guards, and there seemed to be some ill business afoot. Acting quickly, if not maybe a little aggressively, Grackle shot and killed 3 guards right off the bat, causing a panic to ensue as Steiner tried to escape their clutches. The warning bells began to ring. Of course, the bell towers and the crows beginning to circle, looking or kind of narrowing in on the center of this chaos. The guards of Iron Hook Prison immediately thrown into high alert, looking for the source of this shooting. And more chaos ensued as Glass summoned ghosts and
Doesn't sound like something I would do.
not at all. Summon spirits to terrorize the guards and drive the the workers here back towards the Dunslow Yard to give some interference for Grackle, while Salome and Fume slipped inside and were quickly accosted by the one of the chiefs here, the Grand Marshal. I think that was one it was. What was his name? Hold on. Guard Marshal. Sorry, Guard Marshal Harlan Grimm, who you were able to successfully talk your way out of being immediately arrested or killed, and were in the process of being escorted from the labor camp. You ambushed, or Fume successfully ambushed the two guards using some poison that he had on hand, or that he had the ability to create
On
his,
mouth, really.
yeah, through his terrible abomination of a body. And the
You act like everyone doesn't have a cyanide pill in their teeth. Come on.
yeah. And you were able to find Steiner right after Steiner had dealt with some other inmates that were in the process of getting some revenge against the bounty hunter / assassin. And I think that is where we pick up right now. Grackle on a roof in Dunslow Yard. Glass is also on the outskirts of Dunslow Yard, trying to stay out of sight. Fume and Salome have just encountered Steiner, and I think I need to do probably some more some spicier music. Let me go with this. All right. So, where do y'all want to pick up in this moment? Because we got essentially 3 groups, maybe 2 groups if Glass and Grackle come together. You've successfully found your quarry, but you don't necessarily have the cleanest exit right now. You've caused a lot of chaos. Everyone's on high alert. I don't know if anyone has any ideas or if anyone wants to jump into the fray.
I mean, we can start with our boy here. I'm gonna use a load for subterfuge supplies, and literally just walk over toward him, pull stuff out of a side pouch, like a cloak and like a grimy hat and everything else, like a spare change of like work clothes, something like that, and like shove it toward him and be like, strip.
All right. I don't. What can one of you at least give me the 10-second explanation for what is going on right now?
Your buddy, Grackle Jack, says hello, sent us here to bust you out. She's currently shooting a bunch of guards on a tower, sticks a finger in the mouth, gauges the wind. Over yonder, something you owe her one. Or something about taking you alive. I don't recall.
He kind of like pulls on his handlebar mustache a bit, like in a bit of like contemplatively, and says, "I should have recognized those gunshots." All
well,
right.
you shouldn't have. I built her a silencer.
Why is Grackle trying to get me out?
Seems like you're more effective alive than dead, wouldn't you say?
Maybe. I tend to believe that, but I'm just not sure Grackle would be on the same page there. You know what? Not going to question it. We need to get out of here, and then I'll ask her a bunch of questions afterwards.
Sounds like an excellent plan. Let's go.
Your names?
Fume.
Withy.
Apologies.
Salome.
Great. I'm sure you know mine, Steiner. All right, let's go. And like quickly strips off the bloodied shirt and throws on the overcoat, the hat to disguise him best that he can.
Can I also use a load for my subterfuge supplies?
Okay.
I'll pick out one of the bodies that kind of match Steiner's body type.
Oh yeah, give it a mustache. Give it a mustache.
Okay.
Fume just like has a hammer, like, oh right, a mustache. I was gonna cave the face in to make sure it was unrecognizable, but
Both is good. Both is good.
You try to fake my death?
sure.
Seems like the easiest plan.
You know that laugh never works, right?
With all of the hubbub going on right now, there will be several crows, several bells ringing. We're going to hope for the best, all right?
All right. Well, power to you. Do your thing. I am probably gonna make. I'm gonna have this be a roll though. This is kind of a pivotal aspect of your plan here.
What do you want?
What you want?
Oh boy, what do you think would be a good role for causing this?
You're disguising him, right?
Swear?
Like,
Could I
Could I argue for Tinker on a body?
I was going to suggest Tinker.
You know what? I honestly think that. Yeah, I mean, I think either one of those makes sense in this case. So yeah, if you want to go with a
go
Tinker
for
roll.
it?
Position effects, risky standard.
Let's go with we'll go with risky standard. You're not in really a desperate place quite right now, so yeah.
We'll find out. Haha, it's a failure. There's just like a splatter. Oh, that
Anyway,
too much force.
I'm gonna say, yeah, you do the best you can. You find there isn't a great facsimile for Steiner in this group.
Especially all things considered, Steiner might have tattoos that are distinguishing features.
Here's what you get from this is like you may have done enough that if the guards knew that Steiner was in here, if somebody knew, like, they might not think twice for a little while. If you're able to get Steiner out of here without being seen, finding these bodies here, knowing the histories between these people, they might assume Steiner got killed while defending himself. And
But if there was like an autopsy done,
if somebody looks at this body for more than a minute, they're probably gonna know it's
They're
not
gonna
Steiner.
figure it out. No, you need to put the. Okay, now the mustache is in the. Leave it. Let's go. We don't have time.
okay, well, I tried my best.
Yeah, I will say here's what I will give you, because we did this as a risky roll instead of a desperate. You can try again as a desperate action. I will give you limited effect. And there's probably going to be some,
Which would mean I would have to spend stress to push myself to make it a lesser effect because of my bruised injury. No, we'll just go. We just go.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you do your best. You put you create something that kind of looks like a mustache, stick on somebody's face, and then cave it in with the back of your boot, and it's passable at a glance. And Steiner, who's at the door, is like still has the wearing this jacket, has the shiv that he was holding kind of tucked in his sleeve, and is peering out the door that you came through. You hear like footsteps and shouting still in the yard, bells tolling, like still chaos out there. And in the distance, I mean, you can still hear other bells ringing, but what Steiner looks out at and maybe draws your attention to, there is a bridge that leads from Coleridge into Dunslow. It's a oh god, what's the bridge that lifts up? I just forgot.
Drawbridge.
Drawbridge, thank you. There's a drawbridge there that separates the two islands, or separates the island from Dunslow. You can see it's currently lowering, and Steiner looks out and goes, folks, we probably should get going pretty soon. I have a feeling that we're going to be getting some more company here in a bit.
Oh, you're going to need this, by the way. And like, I think we have like paperwork for the family that we like swapped out place for, right?
Yeah. I think. Well, this is something I
Well,
need a flashback for.
part of the subterfuge supplies is let me see.
Like paperwork, right?
It says a selection of blank documents, a forged badge of office. Like there
Okay,
are a couple
so
of things
we
in
can
there.
say like forged credentials as a part of it. You spent your load for it, so I'll say you have like forged credentials for whoever Steiner is supposed to be passing as for the purposes of your escape.
Cool.
But you still have to get, I would say, all of that will be for naught if you're not able to get out of the labor camp without being seen.
So the guards that got smoked, they were taking us out another exit, correct?
They were, yeah.
Back towards the labor camp where the
they were
ghosts
taking,
are.
yeah, they were taking you to like the northern exits of the labor camp.
Okay.
You came in through the southern. There's two entrances essentially of the labor camp. There's the northern one, which is like near where that drawbridge is, and it is the one that has like the direct path. It's like directly across from the gates leading into Iron Hook Prison. The one that y'all came through was the southern entrance, was the one like right by the mire where workers from and materials would come from, like the labor camp from the mire directly, and that's the one that
Essentially where Ragtown is, right?
Yeah, it would be down. Oh, I forgot I could ping. What was the
Double click.
There it is. It's about right there.
That's so weird that it's me that
I have a question.
Yeah.
So this like this part that's like fenced. Where exactly am I right now? Because part of this is fenced off and part of it's not, and so I'm trying to like get a sense of.
Yeah, I had you over about. I was assuming you were like somewhere over here.
Okay.
I don't know if stream can see this, but you're not really missing much.
I can put it on.
We're pinging fences.
So
Now they can.
okay, cool. So I'll go. So right now, the Salome, Fume, and Steiner are up in this area.
Okay.
Glass is over about. I was placing you around over here.
Okay.
And Grackle, I was putting a little further in the Dunslow yard, about like maybe about right there, somewhere where you'd have like a clean shot, but you couldn't be too far away. So that's kind of the placement right now.
So is it feasible for? Sorry,
I was gonna say the activity across the bridge was coming from up here. There seems to be some activity up that way.
So we do not want to go to the north entrance then. We want to go back the way we came.
You would not.
Would it be feasible for us to take this route into Char Hollow, is what I was going to ask.
Into Char Hollow? Reminding myself where.
I just pinged it. So there's a connection right there.
Oh, the northmost bridge.
Between the two.
That would be a feasible exit for y'all. Either that or heading further into Barrow Cleft over to Silk Shore, kind of around here. Would be probably two good exit points for y'all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, we have to sneak past the prison.
Yeah, most of the activity though is going to be on the eastern side of the prison near the labor camp.
So here's my other question. We had tapped Smash and Grab for this, right?
They smuggled y'all in
and the family out
using boats.
I was gonna say, is it gonna be easier for us to like get to the docks over here, or over here?
The docks would not be a good idea. Those are the docks for the prison.
Okay.
Yeah, but where I was assuming, kind of when we were initially talking about y'all's entrance, is that Smash and Grab had probably dumped y'all somewhere on the north shore of Barrow Cleft. Probably somewhere like over in this area.
Okay.
And y'all just like hoofed it across the across the farm, the hagfish, or around the hagfish farms to come into Dunslow Yard
Yes.
undetected.
Could we I mean, if we wanted to escape by boat, I guess this would probably be a flashback, but we could have them have been waiting under one of these bridges.
Sure.
I would also like to remind everyone, as a shadow upgrade, we have underground maps and passkeys. So if we could find a sewer entrance, we can get out that way as well.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say either way, getting if you can get out of Dunslow Yard undetected, you're probably in the clear.
Let's say flashback. Could we do a flashback of, or would we need to if we have the plans anyway? We could just use the load and say that we were gonna try and make or would that be a flashback and using a load? Flashback to say this was the meeting point for when we got the fuck out, and load for the underground maps.
Well, we just have that.
Y'all just have those. That's just one of your perks. is that
Yeah.
you're able to
Okay.
move through the
It's,
city undetected.
Yeah, you have easy passage through the underground canals, tunnels, and basements of the city. We just have that as a group.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would
you're able
just
to get from one point in the city to another without being seen. Usually, given with that perk, that's how you're able to move around the city without people really noticing that you're moving around the city.
So could we have scoped out one of the?
Sure. Yeah. I
sewer
think with a
entrances?
flashback, I'm gonna make this a pretty easy flashback. Somebody just needs to take a stress for me. There's not gonna be a roll involved. We'll just do
I'll
a
do it.
one stress flashback. Okay.
I think I have the fewest right now.
Yeah, this is pretty reasonable. It's something you would have come up with as your exit plan for this, and given the heat that you have. So you want to say that they're waiting for you underneath the bridge between up to Char Hollow, and that's where they're gonna pick you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
like it.
Yeah.
Love it.
We want to use one of the
canals.
tunnels to get actually out to where it would feed out into the water.
Sure. Yeah, I like that. So you have that exit plan. You have a place that you all know that you're going to rally towards, whether you want to make it there together or try to escape separately. But you have your charge right now. It's just a matter of trying to get out.
I don't want to leave glass.
I'm fine.
Would Salome think that though?
Not Salome's job to get glass out of there.
Nope, that's Glass's job.
Okay, fine. Nope, we go. Salome takes a long pause, looks back in the direction of glass.
I'm actually in the best position right now out of the three of us. So, it's okay.
Glass is actually the safest person here right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Glass is the one
they're
person
so
that
low.
essentially has no heat on them currently.
I'm sitting here thinking oh god, how am I gonna get glass out of here? And then I'm actually looking at the map. It's all how am I gonna get Grackle out of here?
Yeah,
How are we gonna get
Grackle?
out of here?
They're
Grackle, Fume,
trying.
and Salome are in much worse situations right now than.
I
than
think
If
Grackle's in the
anything-
worst position because everyone's triangulating where the shots are coming from.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say, if
Yeah, no.
anything, I might put some of my effort towards maybe facilitating a Grackle exit.
It's not a bad idea. So exit strategies then. Who do we want to start with? I guess we just did Salome and Fume, but at the same time, I guess let's pan over to Grackle for a second, because Grackle, you are up on this roof. There is a lot of chaos, a huge mob of Dunslow workers that are fleeing. Actually, given the gunshots coming from the yard, the ghosts at the labor camp, they're having a really hard time right now. I think most of them are actually fleeing back into the shanty town, into the Dunslow Yard, towards their homes. So it is there's a lot of chaos in the streets here to take advantage of, but you do see a lot of guards that are also moving with the workers here, that are quickly kind of triangulating your position, moving towards where
Yeah.
you are on this rooftop. You know from your vantage point, you have seen where Steiner went. You have seen Salome and Fume head that way as well. So you have a pretty good reason to know that they have probably met up at this point, but they're still, you have not seen them leave the labor camp yet.
Is it feasible for Grackle to have trained her birds to be able to report on the status of her crew, like in a very rudimentary way,
Interesting. Okay.
like binary, like yes, need help, no, not need help.
Sure. I'm going to have you probably, this would probably be like a command roll or something for your Grackles, to get them to report in.
Yep,
A
that
lot of
makes sense.
chaos right now, so they're, they're not immune to that. So let's you want to do a command roll for me?
Sure thing. What's our position effect?
Boy, I think in your position right now, you're pretty desperate. You have one shot at this, and we'll go with standard effect.
Okay. I'll push myself to add a dice to this roll.
Okay.
I clicked on something and everything went away. Oh, no, it's right
Yeah,
here.
right
in front
now,
of me. What
right now
am
it's
I
showing that
talking
you're
about?
making a tinker roll.
Yeah, I'm switching it now.
Okay.
I'm doing a consort. No, a command.
Command.
Foolish. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yep. You'd think I'd learn how
I
to
do think
this
your
by now.
panic is going to come into effect here.
Oh
wait, you get to ignore
I'm tough
all
as
levels?
nails.
Okay. That's right. That's right.
Can't do nothing to me. I'm gonna have to roll an extra dice physically, I think, because I can't figure out how to add it.
Oh, I can just hit a button.
Can
oh no,
you?
wait, no, I can't. Never mind.
There we go. I've got a physical dice. There we go. I'll spend. It's 2 stress, right? Or is it 1
It
to push
is-
yourself?
Oh, it's 2 to push yourself.
I thought so. All right, we're rolling. That's a 4. Let me roll this last one. Ooh, 6, baby.
Damn, nice. So with a 6, your Grackles come back again. Binary, you're getting green across the board.
Okay, awesome.
Everybody is safe right now. I guess
All right.
relatively. I assume your binary here is like alive or dead, or like in danger, like injured or okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm imagining with Salome and Fume's position, there would be no. I can't see a reason why your Grackles would in that case be worried about them currently.
All right.
Or
Sounds good to me. I'll have them keep on that Overwatch. And I'm skedaddling. I need to not be where the gunshots were coming from.
yeah, you are, like I said, in a very bad place right now. I will need another roll from Grackle to actually escape. So your Grackles come in. What do you see there? Like the signal looking like? Is it like 1 call for good, 2 calls for like 2 short calls for bad, and you've like, I guess, assigned a different Grackle to watch each of your.
You know, it's a binary. I think that these Grackles are just supposed to watch them and then come to her if they're in trouble.
Okay, that works too.
I think I think it's a no news is good news situation.
Okay. I'm imagining like each, like you've color coded like each of the Grackles, assigned to each of them, like have like a ribbon or something, or like a little clip or something on their foot, so you know it's like, oh, the green one just came back, that means Fume's dead.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Okay, I like that. So yeah, you have this, you're in a rough spot here with all of these guards coming towards you. They about know where this gunshot might have come from. You're on the roof of a building. You need to get down without anyone seeing you. Even the like citizenry here, like the workers here, aren't going to necessarily be on your side in this case. So it's not like you have allies, you just have cover. Yeah, I will need a roll. Thinking probably prowl, unless you have another skill that
prowl.
you think would be okay.
Prowl sounds right.
So This is going to be another desperate standard action.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you standard because of the cover that you've got from Glass's interference. Glass, if you want to assist on this roll, this would be one you could potentially assist on. given
Have an
your
idea.
positioning. Yeah, go for it.
I want to use my Tempest ability to somewhere that Grackle is not, create some thunderclaps that could be construed as gunshots.
Mm,
Ooh,
okay.
interesting. Okay. So, your Tempest ability is to push yourself to
Yeah,
do that,
I
right?
can push myself to do weather drama.
Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'm not going to have you roll, but I will still have you push yourself.
Okay.
So you can spend 2 stress to push yourself to help Grackle. Grackle, you get the additional die. For,
I'm gonna aim at like one of the other, like a watchtower or like something in a different,
Okay.
Yeah.
not like ridiculously far away, because that wouldn't be believable, but like one of the other like towers, or maybe like, oh, they'll think she's moved.
Just to get them looking in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and it's still like firing from somewhere else.
Okay. I dig it.
I also figured out how to add dice.
Yay!
Oh, cool. How do you do that? Because that is
It's just under adjustments. Like there's a drop
Oh.
down that you can open up, and it says like plus 1d or minus 1d.
I see. Oh, yeah, you're right. Awesome. So, and then Grackle, if you just click on the assist teammate button, then, or not Grackle, Glass, if you,
Click. I missed.
Very
there you
cool.
go.
Okay. In that case, let's not waste it. I'm gonna go ahead and, well, it's fine. Consequences are fine, right? Like, let's save stress for avoiding those. Go ahead and hit that again. Sorry, I got rid of it.
Wow, I see how it is.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
That's a mixed success.
Okay.
Mixed success. Okay.
Mixed success.
That's good.
Here is, got 2 thoughts here that I can go with. I'm gonna offer you a choice. Grackle, you can either take the option that essentially there's like a throng of people moving through here, like hundreds of people on the streets right now, moving between in the shanty town, very narrow alleyways. I mean, it is essentially a mob coming through here, and you are trying to escape unseen. You can either put yourself in a situation where you are potentially going to be risking a little bit of life, like putting yourself in the middle of this mob, which might get you away a bit cleaner, but it risks to your physical self, or you can take a safer option, but you're not going to be completely out of, like, you're not out of the woods yet, where like detection, you might have to do something to lose the trail of these guards. So you take the safer option, which might require a little more work on your end, or you can take the riskier option, which will get you away, but you're going to take some harm.
Okay. Normally I'd say that Grackle's not afraid of physical harm, but that's not the thing that she's necessarily concerned with in this situation. I'm gonna take the safer option that requires more work. I've got some more work in me.
Okay. So Grackle, you descend the scaffolding on the side of this building, on the side where there aren't as many people. However, you hear the heavy footsteps of guards closing in here. You're able to avoid any damage or consequences of putting yourself in the middle of this frantic group of workers, but you can hear some guards shouting, and the Iron Hook guards still like closing in. You hear them shouting, one of them in the distance, I think I saw someone drop down over there. Move down the alleyway, we'll see if we can get them on the other side. and you can hear them like beginning to kind of circle in on your location as you know, Jason Bourne style, are fleeing down like narrow alleyways, kind of running as fast as you can. So you're safe, you're on foot, you're fleeing, but you know that while they don't have line of sight on you, you're in pursuit right now. They are in pursuit.
Okay.
So that is where Grackle is. I like to pan, Glass, you are kind of on the, like, what is Glass doing right now? I guess I'd like to ask.
Oh, I just finished summoning some cool thunder to help my friend Grackle.
Yeah, you did. Took a little bit out of you.
Yeah,
Yeah, a couple of cracks in the distance. You see some people. There's some screams over there. You see some of the guards moving off that direction. You fold away your lightning rod, which is still kind of sparking in your hands.
Yeah. I guess I don't know, like, I don't know that there's anything I can do to help Grackle further at this point. I was kind of like torn.
Yeah, you see a group of these guards kind of splitting up. Some of them moving west down the street here to try to cut into like the center of Dunzo Yard. Others that are more following some of the alleyways in the direction of where, you know, Grackle just dropped down to. It looks like they're trying to like encircle or kind of flank where Grackle's going.
Okay. I want to help. I want to help, and I also just want to run away.
Either one are fine options.
I tell you what. I haven't pulled any gear yet. So yeah, that seems fun. Am I like relatively nearby to these guards?
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
splitting off. Okay. Before I go, as much as I want to summon another ghost, I'm not going to do this.
Okay.
I am going to pull my electroplasm vials from my little pocket, which are designed to explode on impact, and those are gonna get chucked sort of over the guards and into the alley where they're running to slow some of them down.
All right, so you're trying to harry the guards that are pursuing Grackle.
At least slow some of them down.
Bottles. Okay. Yeah. What do you think you want to roll here? Your intent is to.
I was thinking finesse.
Okay.
Because it is sort of misdirection.
Yeah. No. If
and trying to like throw them precisely.
Yeah, if finesse covers, I was pulling it up. If finesse covers misdirection, I think that
it says employ misdirection or sleight of hand.
I'd be fine with that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, that's a 5.
5. Okay.
We called it from last time. It was nothing but 1s and 6s last time.
Now it's all
just
mixed.
All mixed.
Just 4s and 5s. 4s and 5s, baby.
Okay. So you see the guards running off to this alleyway. You kind of sprint over, like cutting off where they're going, looking down a narrow alleyway. You chuck some of these, one of these flasks. What is it again? It's
it's electroplasm.
Okay.
It's
electroplasm.
Oh, electroplasm.
Okay, what you
not
would
plasma.
use to harm ghosts. So not like the most deadly thing for people, but enough to like, distract.
They are just in the description. They're meant to just explode on impact. So it's more of just like oh god, they're probably gonna stop for a minute.
Okay, so here's what I think happens. You take one of these, you hurl it down the alleyway. It explodes, like actually like shattering one of the metal supports for this small shanty here. You see like the wall kind of crash over. A few of the guards had made it through, or perhaps are pinned underneath the wreckage here of this like metal plate that has now fallen. A couple others stop, kind of like reeling and pulling themselves back. They do look instinctively. A couple of them look down in your direction and lock eyes with you, and they begin to shout as a couple of them peel off to come running after you as you begin
Good.
to flee, I assume.
Yeah.
So you've been able to peel them off and bring some heat off of Grackle there. Now with
To run.
Glass on the run, trying to get away, and Grackle doing the same with less pressure. Let's go back to Fume and Salome. What is your plan for getting out?
Follow the route that we set out. We have our charge. It's time to go.
Okay. What's your scheme for getting out of the labor camp? Because this is a guarded area. People are not supposed to get out of this area. It was easier to get in. So are you going to try to?
Are there still people fleeing the ghosts? Is there
not
still
in the labor?
chaos we can?
In
We
the
were gonna
labor
try to
camp,
find like a sewer entrance, right? Is that
into
still
the
what we're
labor
doing?
camp.
Out of the labor
No,
camp.
underground.
Yeah, so I assume the exit that you'd probably be looking to would be over near like the Hagfish farm, so there'd be a lot more irrigation canals there too, and that you'd be able to move through. You'd have to get over to the farms first, so that's probably your your rally point.
This isn't like
getting to-
Hitman where when you're running, all of the door icons pop up so you know how to get out. It's like a well-placed manhole in the middle of the road.
yeah,
Essentially, we need to get out of Dunville Labor Camp, get into Dunslow Yard to get to the Hagfish Farm.
Yes. So Salome, Fume, and Steiner, you are in the labor camp, which is a part of the prison and that people can't move freely in and out of. The guards are still the ones that have been dealing with the spirits and stuff over there. That gate is probably still pretty chaotic, but they would be looking for anyone that is trying to flee the labor camp, any prisoners trying to flee the labor camp, to like sneak into the yard and get out into Duskfall. So if you try to go through one of the gates, you're going to have to deal with a guard presence probably trying to keep you out. The spirits had probably begun to fade and stuff at this point too. That's
fine. I can summon
forever.
Where is the Hagfish Farm?
It's south of Dunslow Yard, right?
It's right over here. This whole big area. Pretty much every plot surrounding Dunslow. You see this area that looks like farm.
I see.
It's for Hagfish.
All of this is for Hagfish.
Radiant Energy Farms is sort of a misleading name.
Yeah, I was like, I can't find where the hagfish are.
Oh man, they have a solar farm here in Duskfall. What type of fence surrounds the labor yard? Is it like a wired fence or is it like a stone brick sort of dealie? Because I imagine that I could just wire cut our way through like a part of the fence that no one's looking, and then we could just duck through.
Climbing gear is also a thing some of us can have.
Yeah, you could also try to go through the fence if you have the gear for that. That is fine too. That's really what I want to know is like, are you trying to like breach the fence or are you trying to go back to one of the gates?
Fence is closer and we've got the gear for it. Let's fucking do it.
I'll spend some load for that.
All right. Okay, so you immediately book it towards one of these, one of like the nearest fence to you, probably just heading like straight west from where you're at. Most of the chaos seems to be happening at one of the gates themselves rather than the fences. So you'll probably have the much less presence here from the guards as you rush that direction. I'll say you reach the fence without any issue. I can't. Well, you know what? I've got fortune rolls for this. I can just roll a fortune roll for it. So I'm gonna do that. See if you run into anybody along the way.
Huh.
It's 2. So you are rushing towards the fences here, and you spot actually outside the fence coming down. So there's this like thoroughfare that you can see comes between Ironhook Prison and the labor camp. There are Ironhook militia, Ironhook guards that are feeding out from the prison, coming in to support those at the labor camp. The roads here are there are a significant number of Ironhook guards that are present in the roads currently. Not to say that necessarily precludes you, but you are in a dangerous situation if you're trying to if you break out here.
What do you think, boss? Push through the den of the beasts, or should we reroute?
Salome looks to Steiner. I'm putting our lives in your hand. All right? And I'll use my load. I've got a, what do you call it? A concealed palm pistol that I will hand over to Steiner. He's gonna be a better shot than me.
All right. Yeah, you hand the gun to Steiner, who like palms it, half the weight of it, says it's smaller than what I normally use, but you know what? We'll get the job done.
To each their own.
I think it's about average.
So are you continuing towards the fence here to see if you maybe
We're gonna
able
do
to
it.
slip out?
We're gonna fucking do it.
Undetected?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm gonna expend 2 load to have my fine wrecking tools on hand for this.
All right. So let's go ahead. I think wreck is going to be the best. You're trying to break something here to get out, unless you have another.
Nope, it's
roll you
definitely
do.
wreck.
All right.
All right. Desperate position?
I am going to say yeah. I mean, you only get 1 shot at this. This is pretty desperate.
Effect.
You've got wrecking tools, so I think your effect here is standard. It's going to accomplish what you want it to do.
Okay.
I don't want to take any chances with this. I'll help. I'll assist.
Okay.
Where's that button again?
It's just if you
Down
go
the
to the roles, it's the center tab.
In the
then
chat
there's a-
itself.
There it is. Okay, there we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
Now.
that's cool. It blacks it out for the rest of us.
Hey, success.
Woo!
Success. Okay. So you see a few like squads of the Iron Hook guards kind of breaking up. Some are heading south to they're basically going to support each of the gates. There is a kind of a slight break, doesn't seem like anybody is looking this direction. You break out your wrecking tools. What exactly do you think you're looking at? It's like a small do you have like some like bowl cutters, or are you?
It's essentially silly putty that he is going to wrap around points of the wired fence, and they'll actually act like thermite.
Okay.
So there is like that thermite reaction.
Okay. So it's something like it makes contact, like, you know, you've got like 2 different types of it, and when they make contact with each other after a certain amount of time, there's like a chemical reaction.
Or like send like an electroplasma charge through it, and that activates like the
it
agents inside of
activates
it
it,
to do the
I like it. So yeah, you connect it at different points and then send a small charge through it. All of it activates at the same time, glows for a moment, and then the fence kind of just falls outwards. This perfect chunk that you've carved out of it. The Steiner looks at you, impressed, says, "That's pretty nifty. If you could tell me afterwards where I might be able to buy some of that."
You can procure it from me later
Alright,
at a
we'll toss it
discount
up.
since friends and family. Age before beauty, and Fume will duck underneath the fence.
Steiner and Salome, I assume, following. You make it out cleanly. Doesn't seem like anybody has noticed your presence here. You jog out into the road and cross to very quickly. You're kind of in an exposed area here, and you're not sure if anyone would is necessarily what they're doing with the citizenry running around here, but you definitely don't want any attention towards you. So with your relay point over at the Radiant Energy Farms, you are you begin to hoof it down the road looking for some cover. The crows continue to circle overhead. They've pretty much locked on to this area of the labor camp here, where all of the bodies have fallen. You see just like a swarm of crows here for all of the death that has now taken place in Dunslow. You glance up the road past towards the direction of the bridge as you are coming around, and you see a heavy contingent of like horse-drawn buggies and carriages, all seemingly belonging to the Bluecoats, as they are thundering down across the bridge and down the path into the labor camp. You also see mixed into this group a few carriages that are painted like solid black, that you would recognize belonging to the spirit wardens. And there's a lot of backup coming in right now. Some of them stopping, flagged down by Iron Hook militia, the guards there, and you see one of the carriages kind of stop in front of the fence at the northern entrance, one of these black carriages, and stepping out from there you see some shrouded figures wearing like black cowls and cloaks, wearing masks as well, as dignified by these spirit wardens all do, as their positions are anonymous. They as they step out, you see a group of Iron Hook soldiers standing aside, as a woman kind of pushes to the front of them. She is wearing like a rich like burgundy jacket with this like gold lapel on it. You by her kind of presentation and the deference that the other guards are giving her, you imagine this is probably the warden. She is having a conversation with the wardens and is pointing down in the direction where the other entrance to the labor camp is, as some of the wardens begin to move off that direction where these spirits were previously. With all of this happening, you begin to meld into the crowd and push towards Dunslow Yard, heading to your relay point. I think with that 6 and where y'all are at right now, Fume and Salome, you're pretty much in the clear unless you decide to assist with anything else that's going on. Grackle and Glass, both of you have a little bit of heat on you. Grackle, what are you doing?
How many are on me right now?
You're managing to maintain enough distance to avoid line of sight, based on the voices and the footsteps you're hearing behind you that are kind of running down the alleyway in pursuit. You'd probably gather like less than probably like 5 or less.
5 or less. Not ideal odds. I'm managing to keep some good distance on them.
Yeah. To the point where they do not seem to, you've been losing more of them as you've been going, just because you have kept line of sight, so they're splitting off to cover some of the turns and some of the forks in the path that you're taking. So you can either maintain to do what you're doing and try to slip away one more time with another roll, or if you want to turn and fight, you could turn and fight and try to take out the last that are following you.
I feel like that's the Grackle move right there, particularly if they are splitting up to try and intercept her by going down different alleyways. It's all right, y'all just basically split yourselves up into a position where I can take you on one by one. Let's do this.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Yes, you find a good point where you turn a corner. You brace yourself right there for them to rally around the corner towards you. And you see coming kind of wheeling around as like maybe a couple more have split off, but coming face to face with you. A little bit of surprise on their faces. 3 Iron Hook guards suddenly like are about to run into you. What are you rolling? Are you using guns? Are you using fisticuffs? What is your weapon of choice here?
It's fairly it's like close range fighting, so I'm gonna say skirmish, but it like depending on how this goes, I'll describe exactly what happened.
Okay, I think that's good.
I thought you were just gonna Arkham Asylum stealth kill everyone, just like drop down from the shadows, summon a bunch of grackles to cloak you as you zipline away.
Sneaking into some conveniently placed air vents that just
Some guy is like, yeah, the grackle couldn't possibly show up here.
it just
He broke
explodes
Kenny's
out of the
nose.
ground.
Just like
Grabs
somehow
them, pulls
never
them.
touched the ground while fighting them.
Yeah, yeah. a lot
Grackle
of
has never
combos.
killed anyone. It's gravity that does most of the work.
Okay, Grackle man. Let's see how this goes.
Well, we've
Yeah,
talked
so you're
this
rolling
up now.
skirmish.
Yep.
I think this is. Boy, is this? I'm giving you all a lot of desperate rolls, but this feels desperate still. So I'm gonna
Oh.
go with desperate standard.
Shoot, that was a desperate roll before. I should have marked experience. I'll get it. I'll get it later. 6, baby.
6. Okay, you described to me how you take these 3 out.
Okay. It's like really like close range, right?
I mean, it's kind of where you got the drop on them, so it's kind of where you want to be at during these
Gunshot
fights.
at.
Bear in mind, if you
I'm-
make too much noise, you might draw more attention.
I imagine that these guys are more familiar, like pretty familiar with this area. So like they believe that they are cornering her in an alleyway. And when they turn the corner, she's just stood at the end of it holding her rifle. She fires, takes one of them out. And while they're reacting to that, she closes the distance. And then just like a pistol in each hand, like boom, like gets both of them at the same
I'm
time.
imagining a cool move where before, like, as the body is falling, you're like kicking and almost like surfing the body down as you shoot the other two, and then just like continue running.
Motherfucker DMCing it up in here.
Yeah. As you like have fully like reversed positions and kind of like running the other way, kind of breaching this perimeter that they've been like kind of trapping you in with these guards and running off the other direction. That is badass. I love it. Do you use the well, you don't have enough silencers for the suppressors for all of your weapons, I
Yeah,
imagine. So
yeah,
there were
no.
some gunshots that went off.
Yeah, exactly. So like, but what that means is that she's now running in the opposite direction, and now they're going to be converging on that spot.
Yeah, so I mean, the gunshots go up. There have also been a lot of crafts going off because of Glass's backup here, so a lot of distractions. So you imagine that, again, just adding to the chaos. Other gunshots going off here, gunshots going. It sounds like gunshots going off other places. It's absolute chaos right now.
I think her plan from the beginning has been to like sort of like breadcrumb them with gunshots in a particular direction and then just run in the opposite direction.
I love it. So you're maybe leading them kind of southwest, then you cut more north after these gunshots to make them think that so get them heading in the wrong direction.
Precisely.
You begin to run that direction. Glass, you're the only one that doesn't have necessarily a clean exit right now. What is Glass doing?
I'm gonna run and try to lose them in the chaos, and get as
Okay.
close to a like a fence as I can, and I'm gonna go over it.
Okay. So let's go ahead. So what are you thinking? Like prowl?
I was
or-
thinking prowl, because I'm gonna try to like Assassin's Creed, sort of like get lost in the crowd.
Okay. What I'm
Can
gonna
I
say here is
possibly assist
yes.
Glass in this situation.
The two
Okay.
of you were close enough, and like by proximity, I think you You could probably assist it. We can conveniently say that you
Like,
can assist.
I'm just gonna say, like, I can recognize, like, glass bullshit when I see it.
Yeah.
In fact, I was imagining a scene where, like, Grackle sees glasses, Grackle circling in the air and, like, like that heart stop moment and then realizes, oh, no, wait, they're just right next to me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. You because you have the grackles over them, that even makes it easier. You can see glasses, the grackle that's trailing glass heading off in a direction.
Also, I
pretty
just threw a
close to
bunch
you.
of electroplasm in an alley near you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
So yeah, you can go ahead and roll prowl glass.
Okay.
Do I want to make this? I'm trying to decide whether you get another shot after this or not. But I'll give you a desperate action on this one. I mean, will give you. That's not necessarily giving you a gift.
You
could
already
go
giving me the
bad.
gift of XP.
I'll give you the gift of XP, but the downside of that, if this fucks up, you don't get a second chance at
That's
this.
fine. It's not gonna fuck up.
So yeah, you roll that, you get an extra die from glass or grackle.
I'm glass.
Yeah.
That's 2 6s, baby.
Damn, critical success.
Hell yeah.
So you describe to me, I mean, you were able to accomplish this easily. And
I mean, I
essentially
think
put yourself
yeah.
wherever you want after that.
I think this kind of thing, this sort of like causing a lot of chaos and then slipping into the crowd and just getting away. This is what glass does. Like this is how they do things. And so yeah, I think has like tried to run from these guards that are tailing them and very quickly like taking a lot of corners, just any sort of like physical object or like person or whatever that they can put between them and these guards, and I think has just enough time to like slip around the corner of a building, like pulls out almost like a handkerchief or like a scarf out of their pocket very quickly, sort of ties that on, comes around the other side of the building, looking vaguely panicked, and just like melds into the crowd.
Love it. And as all of you have, in your own ways, melted in the crowd, gotten some distance, escaped from the attention of the guard here, you successfully, one at a time, rally at the Radiant Energy Farms at I think there's like a one grate leading into a irrigation canal that you have previously broken the lock on so that you can all slip inside. Probably the last ones to get there. Imagine Glass and Grackle, you're probably already there as Fume, Salome, and finally Steiner slip their way inside.
What took you lot so long?
I would like to turn to Steiner and say, given the conversation that's about to happen, may I have my pistol back?
You know, I would have given it back to you if you just asked that, but then when you prefaced it with given the conversation, I really don't feel obligated to give this to you at this moment.
Grackle points a gun at him. Give it back.
All right. Twirls the gun around, flips it, and hands the handle first to Salome.
Oh, hello, everyone.
Oh, hey. Was it you with the electroplasm explosions?
Yes.
That's very good. I want to do that more.
Thank you.
Let's go talk over there about that.
We will. I can make you some files.
Ooh. And let's not eavesdrop on this conversation.
We would never.
In this very cramped tunnel.
Salome just kind of looks at Grackle. You good?
First and only lesson. When Salome tells you to do something, you do it. She holsters her weapon.
I'm going to take that as a yes, you're fine. We'll be over here if you need anything. Joins the others. Certainly never, no way eavesdropping at all.
Yeah, everyone's listening in on this.
But we're politely pretending like we're not.
Steiner, sort of straightening the hat that he is borrowing, looks at you. You can see Steiner is not looking traditionally healthy
Yeah.
right now. He is looking a bit gaunt. You can see probably has already lost a few pounds just from his brief stay at Iron Hook. You definitely notice as he was getting in here, especially as the adrenaline is fading, like he's walking with a bit of a limp. And yeah, he looks up at you from kind of slightly sunken, perhaps even a bit jaundiced eyes. Says, "Hey, Jack.
Hey,
You
Steiner.
know, there are easier ways to kill someone if that was your intention here."
Grackle's been really stony faced up until this point. And she finally cracks the hint of a smile. And she says, I told you, I always take my man alive.
Lucky me. Well, who are you doing this job for then?
She just like nods towards the direction Salome walked. Miss Salome said that you might be useful. It'd behoove you not to prove her wrong. And she's gonna pass him a flask of whiskey.
Takes it, sniffs it once, and then takes a sip, or takes a long drag of it, I guess. And corks it, hands it back to you. All right. Well, I guess I owe you one then. I don't really know what to say. I assume we're not going to be hanging out here for long, but I guess I'll at least tell you this. I kept my word.
Good. Can you walk?
Far enough to get somewhere comfortable, I think.
I don't know about comfortable, but I can get you a doctor.
Good enough.
All right.
So we can bring this job to a close here with the four of you and Steiner reaching the end of this this irrigation canal. You see Smash and Grab waiting for you on a boat. You load up inside, lanterns dimmed or hooded, just enough light to navigate by across the canals as you head north between Silkshore and Char Hollow until you reach the canals of Silkshore, this familiar turf for you again, and navigate your way back to the jewelry box.
With the way that started, I'm literally shocked we're all still alive.
Yeah, that could have gone real bad. So you successfully completed this job, but boy, this score, but boy, there's probably going to be some
Repercussions?
repercussions from that is a good way to put it.
Look at that, the consequences of our own actions.
Yeah.
Why can't it just be sequences?
So we're gonna go and play through. We'll go and skim through the mechanics of this, and then we'll get into it, because I imagine there's probably some conversations y'all want to have with Steiner and kind of the fallout from all of this. So let's see where things are at. First we talk about rep. You earned rep and coin for your payoff for this job. 2 rep by default, 1 rep per tier higher. This was against Iron Hook.
which is a tier higher than us, I think.
Let me remind myself. What tier are y'all right now?
1.
One.
Iron Hook Prison is a click. Iron Hook's a tier 4. So that is going to be 3 additional. So you think you get 5 rep?
Holy crap!
Excellent.
Coin. The purpose of this job was not necessarily coin. I'm not going to give you all a big payoff for this. But given Steiner's gratitude, I'll say, for this job, you're given 6 coin, a standard score, decent loot for completing this. You can decide
1
how you
each
want
and
to...
2 to the
stash.
The stash?
Yeah.
Are we housing Steiner at the jewelry box, or are we letting him go on his merry way?
That's probably going to be something we'll discuss.
We'll talk about
when we
later.
get into-
Okay.
Yeah, probably explore that role play. If y'all
Now,
wanna
listen,
keep-
Steiner, you're going to have a roommate. His name is Cobb.
No.
He's a bit out of sorts. Don't ask him questions. He likes crayons, but let him eat them. Again.
Now we're going to talk about heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. After a score or conflict with an opponent, your crew takes heat according to the nature of the operation. 0 heat, smooth and quiet, low exposure. 2 heat, contained, standard exposure. 4 heat, loud and chaotic, high exposure. 6 heat, wild, devastating exposure. My question is, do y'all think this was loud and chaotic, or do you think it was wild?
All right. How many guards versus civilians died in this encounter?
A lot. Well, versus civilians, I would say it is hard to have an exact... I mean, y'all did not kill any civilians yourselves. There might be a few that died in the...
Regardless, I assume this is like the highest amount of exposure we have done so far.
There were probably there were probably a few dozen people that died during this job. Just in the prison, in the riots at the labor camp, between the guards and the prisoners fighting each other, to the people that Steiner killed, to the people that Grackle killed, to the people that Glass probably killed. Again, indirectly, but still.
No, I very directly sicked some ghosts on some
did,
guards.
Yeah. Your intention was not to kill them with the ghosts, but I guess that was your intention, to kill them with the ghosts. I guess it's supposed it doesn't really matter except for Glass's moral, but none of y'all are getting any Paragon points for this. So
Renegade all the way.
I will kill cops to get what I want.
I'm really thinking that wild is a suitable moniker for this.
Yeah.
Val, if you put a reporter in front of us, all of us will hit the renegade button to punch them in the face.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna start at 6 heat. You add 1 heat for every high profile or well connected target. Iron Hook's pretty well connected.
At least high profile.
And a pretty high I'm gonna say that brings us to 7. Add 1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. It did, so it puts us to 8. Add 1 heat if you're at war with another faction. You're not. Add 2 heat if killing was involved. There was. That brings us to 10 heat.
So our wanted level is 2 with 1 heat carried over.
No, I was adding them in as we were going. Our wanted level is 2 with now 4 heat in the tank.
This is fine. We're slippery.
What's wanted level 2 do for us?
Well, we'll get to that.
It impacts the severity of your entanglements and downtime.
Yeah, it also
great.
it also impacts the level of incarceration. Like if you decide, if one of you is arrested or you decide to frame someone to put them into prison, the one in level 1 is a month or 2. One in level 2 is several months One level 3 is a year or two. One level 4 is life or execution. So that's where you're at right now with that. But we'll talk about entanglements now. You
We're
said
gonna
you
have
are.
to have a time skip.
Yeah.
Or we send Cobb to prison.
So I'm gonna roll a number of dice equal to your wanted level, and then compare it to one of the 3 charts for how much heat you have. So you have 4 heat currently.
We have 4 heat currently, and our wanted level is 2.
So that means I'm gonna roll 2 dice and take the higher.
This is an entanglement.
This is for your entanglements.
We
And
get
then
to
y'all-
choose which one we want
Okay.
Oh, it's a roll 2 and choose one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna roll.
because we are
What?
slippery.
Okay, so I'm gonna
We're
roll 2
slippery.
dice twice, and
Mhm.
then we'll see. So first one, that's a 5. All right. Second one is a 5.
We don't have
The-
a real option here.
Okay. We get the
Okay.
5.
Meant to be.
Yep.
Yep.
Which
Hit us.
means it
What's 5?
is reprisals or unquiet dead.
Yes.
Yeah, it tracks.
Yes, 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 yes.
Blast, you
Enemy
keep sending
fa-
us on these
so-
shitty jobs.
Reprisals is an enemy faction makes a move against you. Pay them 1 rep and 1 coin per tier of the enemy as an apology, or fight back and show them who's boss. Or unquiet dead is rogue spirit drawn to you.
Come on.
right. I'm gonna think on that.
Val.
Wow. Ghosts are involved.
I'm gonna think on
We
that.
killed
did go-
so many people.
Yeah, but also there's a lot of factions that y'all pissed off at this point. This
I
is a
know,
good
but hold on, Val. I'm gonna
opportunity.
message you something real quick, and you can deliberate on it during
Okay.
break.
All right. So that is pretty much it for the immediate payoff and everything for this. We just go into downtime activities. But we can do downtime activities as we also litigate what you want to do with Steiner too. So I mean, do y'all want to go ahead and do a scene immediately following the job? What is interesting for y'all to see next?
Debriefing, where we're like in the jewelry box having drinks and like talking things over.
Uh-huh.
So, now that we've done this lovely little job for you, Madam Gracklejack, what next?
Why are you asking me?
It's your person. What do you want to do with him? Do we release him back onto the street? Do we house him here in the jewelry box? Do we pay coin out of our pocket to establish a new identity for him? I'm sorry, you're in the room. Your input is also required.
I imagine the camera pan was just the 2 of them, and they're like, "I'm sorry, you're in the room," and it just pans over to Steiner standing there the entire fucking time.
Whiskey?
Yeah, please.
I don't know, perhaps that's more a question for Steiner than it is for Grackle. What's your life worth?
Interesting. I'm usually the person asking someone that question, so I don't know. Had a pretty long one at this point. Put a lot of people in the dirt.
Ever
Can't really say.
Ever consider a change in fields, or rather working with a team? Or are you one of those lone wolf types?
I typically find working with more people leads to more complications. I tend to work alone, but I'll put a lot of effort into getting me out and keeping this train a rolling. So I was assuming that you had some sort of offer for me as part of that.
Which one would this be? Is this study?
What you trying to do?
Yeah, what's your question?
I just want to get,
Vibe check.
It'd be study.
yeah, kind
Vibe
of.
check?
Yeah, it's I want to check the vibes on this dude. Heard a
Yeah.
lot about him.
Study
obviously.
a person.
Yeah,
Mhm,
heard a
mhm,
lot about him
mhm.
from Jack, and I think Salome is just sort of seated in a comfy chair with Port, and is just sort of staring at him a little bit, hopefully a little unnervingly. And
Okay.
yeah, could I do a bit of a study?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That's a 5.
Okay. With a 5. So you're more wanting to know, like, what is it that he wants out of this situation? Like, what is of interest to him, or kind of like whether you can trust him?
I think more trust, and also what the hell's going on between him and Grackle? What's the vibe there? What is this?
Um, hmm.
So to some degree, you're getting a vibe check on Grackle too.
Yeah,
Kinda.
I'm gonna say you get to ask essentially. If that's what you want to know more, like with a mixed success, I'm gonna
Mhm.
limit your options here. So,
Okay.
um, if you are if you're looking for information on the relationship between Steiner and Grackle, then that is what
I think that's more what we're going for. I think Salome is going to trust that Grackle does not trust this person necessarily, but is sort of vouching for them, so she'll leave that there. She just kind of wants to know what's going on. What's going on here? Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually gonna ask Wings. How would you describe what Salome sees between the two of them?
Deep respect. I think they both respect each other a lot. And they and in a weird way, they also trust each other a lot.
Okay.
But like in a like I know you will act in this way. You're not going to act a way I don't predict that you'll act. Um Grackle has a fucking wall up. There is like yeah, like no one's getting past this wall. But that guy can sit on the wall.
Yeah. So there's definitely a I mean, there's a vibe of, and I think from Steiner's position is there is, yeah. I mean, there's a level of like camaraderie, like maybe friendship there, as much as like you imagine someone like Grackle or Steiner could be friends with somebody in their line of work, and yeah, I think maybe even a sense of like concern or responsibility.
Okay. You prefer to work alone?
By and large, yeah.
But you are open to taking work where you find it, if it's worth your time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right. take work from us. Not exclusively, necessarily. Given the visibility of this last interaction we've had with the prison, we'll all be laying low for a while, I'm sure. But once the dust settles, take your work as you would, but if we have something for you, and I can assure you it will always be quite entertaining, take it from us.
I mean, that's a real fair offer you're giving me there. I can't quite lay that down. If the pay is good and the work is, I mean, you know what I do. I assume Grackle here has filled you in on that. But just to lay our cards on the table, I kill people. And it's simple as that.
I pretend to be extremely shocked and offended.
I was about to say the same fucking thing.
Fume and Glass at the same time go,
No.
They're like on either side of Salome, and they both gasp and then look at each
In
other.
stereo.
Yeah,
look at each
yeah,
other,
yeah.
and then look at
Girl
Steiner,
clutch.
and look at each other, and look at Steiner, and then start laughing because they've had a little too much whiskey.
That meaning to say, you point me towards a job or a target, that's what I'm looking to do for a cost. I'm not here to catch and release, you might say.
We have Grackle for that.
Fair enough.
If
The
it-
other part that I'll point out is that I've worked for a lot of people in my time, and I do have some obligations out there, that some of which are might be concerning for your group.
I understand. And I would assume, similarly, you might run into an obligation that may conflict with something that we might need you to do. Would not ask anything more of you than I would anyone else in my crew. We would just ask for the respect of a heads up, if you will.
Sure.
A question for you, Steiner. Are you more of a long-ranged opportunist, or do you like to get up close and personal? The least I can do for a friend of Grackle is maintain their weapons. And I might have something in the back room for you.
Oh, I'm not picky either way. I'll pretty much whatever way is the least excited, I'll say. I'm not here to be flashy. I'm just here to get the job done. So whether that's a blade or a gun or poison, as long as they don't see it coming.
Well, as long as our interests align, consider me a tinkerer of sorts. So if you need any equipment, come on by. Speaking of which, I have some things to prepare, so I will excuse myself from this conversation. Please keep the pipe open so I may stay in the loop this time.
He's asking permission this time. Well,
We had a
how
talk.
could I say no?
There was a talk.
Well, this all sounds well and dandy. I'm happy for our mutual business interest. Grackle, can I have a word with you? In private.
She like looks at him out of the side of her eye. She's gonna pick up a bottle of whiskey and walk out of the room.
Oh, and just so
This-
we're clear, my now that we're co-workers, my services are no longer available to you.
Thanks. For the heads up.
That's basically an invitation to go talk.
I think Steiner insists that you get somewhere far out of earshot of of the others.
That's
Um,
fair. Grackle also did promise to get him to a doctor, so this conversation could happen either
on the
like,
way.
yeah, on the way or like in between.
Are you going to Melvier's?
Yeah.
Okay,
Grackle knows one guy.
sure. Yeah, so we could say this is on your way to speak with or go take Steiner to get some treatment with Melvir. I mean, Steiner doesn't have anything that's life threatening right now. It's just probably needs a checkup more
Yeah.
than anything.
I mean, in his old age,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, he's supposed to be going to these things twice a year. So
he took a nasty fall.
yeah, and probably needs to make sure his leg set right and everything. So
Exactly.
um, yeah, you begin to slowly head across town with Steiner, who um, once you are far enough away, and you can tell, like, checking over his shoulder, making sure that y'all aren't being followed. He breaks the silence and says, "How much do they know about our arrangement?"
How much do you think they know about me at all?
Based on the way they were talking, probably pretty little.
They know what they need to know.
You're putting them in a tough spot, Jack.
They wouldn't be here if they didn't want to be.
I'm guessing you know at least a bit of why they brought me in. I was waiting for you to ask me for the full story.
Seems like you're wanting to say it.
It would be professionally irresponsible for me not to at this point, given our fates are relatively intertwined. The my participation in it might be a moot point now, but that bounty's still out there. And he knows that you're out here too.
Road whiskey. Grackle just takes a swig.
I'm not saying that you need to worry about your door getting kicked in the next couple of days or anything, but crows are circling. It's only a matter of time now. You're making quite a name for yourself, you and this group of yours, and it seems that you've stuck your noses into some places that I'm not sure you intended to stick them. Attention's coming your way one way or another.
It was never my name.
Yeah, I know. Whether or not it's the one you've got. You can hide it best you can, but it follows you around.
How much does he know?
He knows I've been covering for you, or at least suspects. That's why we ended up in this situation. His confidence in me had run out, it seems. I asked for better pay. He declined. And you know the deal. I said I would keep my end of the bargain till the price got good enough for me. Never got there. So
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out exactly how much that would have been.
yeah. Some things I'm going to keep to myself. Anyway. I imagine he's not going to buy this fabrication that I met my end back there at that prison. So sooner or later, it's probably going to start looking for me, and if I'm associating with you, well, it's probably just going to put more danger on you.
Hmm.
Not to say his sights aren't trained on your crew already. Apparently, you've messed with some business interests, and I don't imagine he's going to let that go unrewarded.
Well, it was only a matter of time. Thanks for the heads up.
Least I can do. Like I said, we're in this together at this point.
Well, the alternative was for you to die.
I probably would have been cleaner for you. I wouldn't have held it against you.
You're more useful alive.
That's a nice way of saying you're sentimental.
This seems to upset Grackle.
But, and this will be the only time that I say this, thank you. I mean, given the choice, I'd rather live.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of people that you've dealt with that would have felt the same.
Yeah,
Now you
that's
keep
true.
your head down, all right? Don't make this more painful than it has to be.
Sure. I'll do that.
And what I said still stands. If I have to put you down, I will.
All right. Fair enough.
We'll be in touch. And then she goes and knocks on
Melvier.
Melvier's door.
All right. Drop Steiner off. Maybe a short hello goodbye to Melvier, and
I feel sorry for Melvier. Like this really does happen more often than it should.
mean,
It's good
like
business.
he's getting paid for it. So,
Melvier and Fume are friends
uh-huh.
now.
Yeah. Not giving out free medical care. But yeah, probably a friends and family discount. All right. So with that, I think it's probably a good place to take our break for the evening.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to to do the rest of our downtime activities, or if there's any conversations that the others want to have while Grackle and Steiner were out. So thanks to everyone out there for watching. We will go ahead and take our break here. We'll be back in a few minutes to continue our session. Recommend you do the same. Go stretch your legs, get a snack, get some water, take your meds, whatever you need to do. And we'll be back here real soon. So stay tuned. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We are going to get back into it. So we're in some downtime now with doing some recovery. I think we talked about it a little bit. We are due for some stress relief from indulging some in vices, I think, right now. So you've successfully completed your job. Was there any like conversation that those back at the bar wanted to have before we get into downtime?
Fume is gonna ping Glass about their joint research project.
Oh, yes.
So about the ectoplasma device that you used, not to assume your technical skill, but was it rudimentary at best, or was it an actual device that actually deployed said ectoplasm?
Oh, those are just vials. They're
Oh.
strong enough to keep, strong enough to store the substance inside, but they're essentially created to shatter on impact.
Well, I've been looking into a couple of ways to both subdue and excite the spirits, and I would like your input on it.
I do have some tools for that as well, so sure. What do you want to know?
We'll get to talking. We are going to develop some sort of thing that'll play into maybe something I'm going to pick up later.
We're going to do ghost science.
Ghost science.
Is this going to be a project?
No, I have the special ability Ghost Ward that I was thinking about picking up.
Oh, okay. So this is more flavor.
More
abilities.
flavor for the
Okay.
ability, yeah.
That is totally fine.
I have several tools of the trade that I can explain how they work.
I thought you didn't do that with coworkers.
Not that trade.
Shame.
And I'm good enough at that. I don't need tools unless they're requested. Come on.
Huh.
We're all allowed to be proud of our work.
No. I agree with you. We are allowed to be proud of what we work with and our work. Sorry, it's been quite a bit. I'm about to partake. Care to join me?
Sure.
Let's do some downtime, I guess, if no one else is gonna talk.
Let's
Okay,
do
we'll
some-
just literally sit here and talk to each other for the next hour.
Yeah. I mainly just wanted to know if there was any
Before we get
Grackle.
too deep into it, are we ruling Steiner as an informant as far as turf goes?
Oh yeah, he was going to be our next tick on the map. On our grid.
Right.
But I can also see why he wouldn't be that. So I'm clarifying.
I don't know if it kind of depends on how you'll want to set that up. So Steiner's not really in a great place to be an informant currently. That
Yeah.
would be something that you would have to maybe do some work, because Steiner was just in prison, needs to be lying low, is wanted by a lot of powerful people right now.
It's kind of like a cohort at this point, right?
Yeah, Steiner's probably more in the cohort
I was
area.
gonna say, could we call him a lookout?
Yeah.
Because there is a box for lookouts. It's +1 die to survey or hunt on your turf.
Oh, that's very Grackle
That's
specific.
Great.
So, I mean, that seems correct to me. That seems like something
Yeah.
he would more up his alley.
That does make
'Cause
more
that can-
narrative sense.
That can very much be done from the shadows, and then that extra to surveying and hunt kind of makes sense for his skill set. Instead of
So
going the informant route.
Is that one of the ticks on y'all's map, or
Yeah, it's on the grid. It's in the far right hand column in the middle.
Gotcha.
Claims, that's what they're called.
In your claims. That's right.
Claims.
Yeah, because
I always
we
forget.
hadn't really set up this as, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, again, we didn't necessarily set this up as looking for lookouts, but I think narratively I'm willing to say that was one of the benefits y'all got for this job. So
We did talk some about potentially trying to turn him into one of the claims, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was before we released a bunch of ghosts in the middle of a prison.
I'm trying to decide whether maybe you might need to do a separate job to establish Steiner as a lookout.
Something. Interesting. If we do an entire separate job, then maybe we could even get the informant route to work.
Yeah, I mean, you could get either one to work. It would just depend on like what is. I think the way I want to roll it is like this job was to keep Steiner alive. Like you decided to do this to keep one of your NPCs alive because I think I did that had come up as kind of an entanglement for some of your most recent jobs. If you want to be able to set up lookouts or informants and have Steiner a part of that is something you can definitely do.
All right, that's cool with me.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Carry on. Time for downtime.
So let's just start with the easy one. Who's relieving stress?
I think that's everybody.
Everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So indulging vices.
Makes a lot of sense, actually.
The sheet up.
Grackle's gonna take all of Steiner's contracts.
Oh yeah. I mean that does fit pretty well. Let's look at that. So you're gonna roll your weakest quality. Okay. So I guess everyone knows how to roll. My light just fell. Whoops.
So I threw it on the ground.
I will work
It's the
on
ghosts.
fixing that.
That's not my dad.
I knew that would be our entanglement.
All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and roll for your vices. So you're gonna roll your weakest quality, insight, prowess, or resolve. This one you have the fewest ticks in. You roll a number of dice equal to what you have, or how many you have ticks in. I think the game just gives you a nice button to do that with.
And it automatically takes it out as well.
Ooh, where's that?
So if you go to roles and then go to select character, select yourself, and then the top one, instead of resistances, you switch it over to vice.
Oh.
But be careful because it's instance, so we should do it one at a time.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
So who's
just-
going
I'll
who's going
just-
first?
I'll just roll dice. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll just roll dice. We'll keep it simple.
And we get both of the dice, is that correct? Or do we take the
No,
lower-
you take the highest result.
the highest one? Okay.
I'll bring up the chart here. So you're gonna clear stress equal to the highest result on the die. Is everybody rolling at least one die?
So
for theirs?
the dice we're
Yeah.
rolling is how many ticks we have in that category.
Oh,
So
damn.
it's
Is it?
let's
don't
just do this one at a
remember.
time. So for example, for
I just cleared all my stress.
Yay!
Yay!
so for Grackle, you or not Grackle, for Glass. I've been doing that a lot today.
My worst one is insight.
You have so you have ticks in 2 categories in all of yours. So it doesn't matter which one you do.
Well, that's what I was asking. Is it? It's not like the number of ticks. It's the number
It's-
of categories.
It's the number of categories that you have ticks in, not
Okay.
the number
Yeah.
of ticks you have total.
I
Yeah.
see.
So
You're essentially just looking at the first tick on every skill,
I see.
yes.
and just counting.
So I just roll
those.
2,
Yeah. So you're rolling 2.
and then you take the higher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled 1 dice and got a 6. So,
I rolled 2 ones.
Yeah, I think everybody's rolling.
oh no.
I'm rolling at least one. so-
Woo! 6.
Nice.
6 and a 1.
I'm at a comfy spot here for
Grackle's
stress.
1.
2, 3, 4, 5. Down to 1.
Well, that
Now,
sucked.
we'll take it. I'm sorry.
What did you roll?
I rolled
You
2
a 1?
ones.
2 ones. So yeah, you only clear 1 on that.
Well-
You can use your second one to indulge as well if you
We
want
can
to.
also have Salome use their free action to have you indulge.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go ahead and use your second,
I mean, it's sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, because then I would probably just be using mine to try to reduce our heat. So
yeah, I mean, it probably makes more sense for Glass just go ahead and use assuming you want less stress. Than you
yeah,
have
I need to
currently,
get rid of it. I'm
then
gonna try
to
really
just
hard
use your second one
not
and
to
then
overindulge.
I'll use my second for heat reduction. Don't worry about it.
Well, no, and I was going to use the freebie for heat reduction too. So if you want
We
to just
can-
use it.
I have
We
bad
can both
news.
What's that?
I rolled a 6,
Oh no. Does that mean
Did you overindulge?
and I have
Did you
5.
Ah!
oh boy,
It's
You
happening.
overindulged?
It's happening!
It
It's the first
happened.
time!
It's happening!
It's happening, and
What
it's
do we do?
happening
What do we
to
do?
me.
What do we
What do I
do?
do?
So nobody
So-
panic.
No
Okay.
panic!
This is the
Everyone,
perfect
calm
kind of
down!
panic.
All right. So when you overindulge your vice, you make a bad call because of your vice in acquiring it or while under its influence. To bring the effect of this bad decision into the game, select 1 overindulgence from the list. Attract trouble. You select or roll an additional entanglement. Brag about your exploits. You add 2 heat. Lost, your character vanishes for a few weeks. You play a different character until this one returns from their bender.
jeez.
Or tapped, your current purveyor cuts you off. Find a new source for your vice.
Do you just get ejected from the jewelry box?
No, I don't play where I
So-
work. I think I'm gonna call a second entanglement
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
because my vice is pleasure.
Let me roll for another entanglement. Then.
And you roll 2, and we pick.
What is the language on the ability I'll have?
I don't know. It
Cr-
is.
When
When you roll entanglements, roll twice and keep the one you want.
Okay, so yeah, that's for every entanglement. I just want to make sure it wasn't like entanglements after a job or
No,
wasn't
it is
Yeah,
just
yeah,
when you
yeah.
roll entanglements.
Entanglements in
Alright.
general.
So 1 in level has not changed.
If you roll
I'm
the
still
same
doing,
one twice again, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Being
rolling
slippery
2 dice,
is
and y'all are
helpful
still at
regardless of whether it's your fault.
4 heat. So that is a 6.
Is that good or bad?
Yeah, is that good or
and
bad? I
that's
don't remember.
bad.
dang.
That's bad. Yeah, high's bad.
And then the second one, let me roll.
We
Start
shouldn't
new
be letting
roll.
Val do this.
They have to. It's entanglements.
No,
That's a 5.
5 again.
it's less bad.
Which one is
So-
6?
6 is show of force. A fact. So that would be a faction with whom you have negative stats makes a play against your holdings. Give them 1 claim or go to war. If you have no claims, lose
Oof.
1 hold instead. So y'all will lose a
No.
claim.
Or go to war.
Let's
go to war.
just hey, we said we
Should we
wanted
Unquiet
Unquiet
Dead again?
and so now we get
Yeah.
maybe
So now I
Val will
either
just
give
do
you-
one of each.
Best of both worlds.
Or I give you 2 of the same one.
Or 2 Unquiet Dead.
I think we should go with the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with 5.
Y'all sure you don't want to go to war with someone?
I don't want to give
Not
up
yet.
claims.
I
Okay.
am not trying to be Helen of Troy over here. Let's freaking.
We
let's
have
chill
only
it out.
2
Let's
snipers
chill it
at
out.
best. I want 1 more.
And this one is just in your ponderings, Val. This one is my fault specifically.
Yes. Yeah. What was your vice?
Pleasure.
Okay. Interesting.
Did I try to fuck a ghost? No.
Glass, what are you talking about? That bathroom's been closed for 40 years.
Years.
Interesting. Okay. I'll think on that.
Okay.
Would you believe
All my
what
stress is
ghosts know
gone.
about other ghosts?
I'm so not
Hey.
stressed.
You are so relaxed.
Yeah, we'll have to narrate exactly what happened there because, yes, that will be directly linked to that. But you don't play where you work, so you went
Nope.
somewhere else.
Yeah, we talked about it. The boat. The pleasure boat.
Yeah. It's like
Remember?
swan something. Swan
Yeah.
swan song. Swan. Silver swan.
Yeah.
It was called something along those lines.
Yeah.
The pearl. The
These are all
Swan
good.
Pearl.
These are all good names. I should write them down. I don't think. Oh, I didn't write it on my sheet.
we said all of them while trying to come up with the name of it.
The Little Swan Parade.
The pleasure
Oh.
cruise.
Okay.
Pleasure swan.
Pleasure
So- We'll do the mechanics first while I'm thinking about the narrative implications of all of this.
The pleasure goose.
Oh God, no.
No.
Displeasure goose.
Displeasure.
Goose cannot choose pleasure. Goose only know violence.
So somebody, so Glass has used 2.
Yeah.
Everybody else has used 1. And then we still have a free one out there. So who else has one that they want to use right now?
I'm doing the math in my head. You know what? I'm gonna use this one for hull step 4.
Just as a reminder, we're at 4 heat and 2 wanted.
I'm
Too
gonna
wanted.
say
Yeah.
if everyone is cool with it, I'm gonna use my extra to bring our heat down.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Try to put off that 3rd wanted level.
Yes,
yeah,
as
yeah.
long as we can, you know. Yeah, I can bang out. I'm gonna do some healing as well to get rid
Yeah.
of my,
Don't bang them out. Look what happened to me.
Bang it out, we are deeper just to throw it away.
That's pretty good.
Sorry. Yeah, healing. What do we roll for healing again?
Let me read that up. Sorry, I'm looking through, deciding on
Let's
factions.
recover.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So we do a recovery roll.
Yeah, so you will roll. Where is it?
This
Healing
is-
yourself
Get
costs.
treatment to
choose-
tick your healing clock like a long-term project.
Yeah.
It depends on your access to a physicer.
Hello, Melvia.
Melvir.
Melvir.
We're back.
Yeah.
Remember
So
that.
you're rolling
Remember.
for the quality level of the NPC, and then mark a number of segments on your healing clock.
It'll actually tell you the amount.
Yeah.
1 3
So-
is 1 4 5 2.
Oh, I don't even need to roll then because I just have 1 left. So regardless of what I roll, I would heal on this one, correct? Because if I just have the 1 tick, even if I roll shit, I get 1
I
anyway.
think so.
Yeah. 1 through
Unless
3,
you're-
you gotta.
Yeah. Well, so in this is a level 1 harm.
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah. Then you can just.
Great.
I'm 2 away, so I have to chance it. Start new roll. 1 dice. Nice!
Woo!
That clears my battered.
Yay!
Nice. I'm also going to recover. What'd you roll for that?
I just rolled a d6.
D6. Just one D6. Okay. Okay.
You heal 1
You
segment.
heal 1 segment.
Where is my...
Under progression, underneath
Progression.
underneath stress, discharge stress, there's healing. And then there's an orange
Okay.
circle that you click.
Excellent. I've done it. I've
You
only...
did it.
Okay.
Can I spend a coin to do a third one?
Yeah. No, you definitely can.
I just want to
What do you
get
wanna
rid
do?
of my last. I have 1 tick left on my healing clock, so I just want to get rid of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
to get rid of a level 1 harm.
Mhm.
Then yeah, you don't need to roll. You
Because
can
I still
just-
have burned.
Yes.
I'm going to also spend a coin to try and heal up.
Wait, did you roll? How many dice did you roll for your healing?
1.
1 dice, right? Or is
2
it supposed
dice.
to be some... Oh, it's 2 dice.
It's 2 dice for Melvir.
Yeah.
Oh, when you take the higher?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Sorry, Melvir is an expert. He is a physician, so you get to roll
Like
2 dice.
higher.
His quality as a medic.
Well, the
too.
second one was a 6.
That's 3 segments.
Woohoo!
So you get
Yay.
to get rid of 2 more segments than you did before.
Not bad.
All right. So in that case, I clear my black eye, and I've got a. Is that all of my this, or is that just for one?
It's just for 1. You can only treat 1
At a
injury
time,
at a
okay.
time. So it
I
doesn't
clear-
roll over into your other injury.
Okay. So it clears my black eye. I've still got panicked though. So I need to go have some therapy.
I think that'd be a good thing for everyone here, honestly. So yeah.
Probably.
So yeah, I am gonna go ahead and spend that coin to try
Okay.
and Melvir.
Oh. Val, I have an ability where I can allocate 2 ticks to long-term projects.
That's
Yes.
4.
Ooh,
There's
nice.
2 more segments.
I'm going to dedicate it to researching the crystal,
Okay.
just to clear the clock.
Gotcha. This was the crystal that you took from the
From the combat hull,
yeah, that's right.
Had
Okay.
the Steel
someone
Inquisitor.
that had someone that Grackle knows apparently in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Renegade
So
Spirits?
Finish that.
Oh God.
All right, so that one's completed.
This is
Let's
such a good
see.
system.
Who else? Okay, so that is both for Fume. Did you have another action? Who has another action left? Okay, you have your free. That's the free action you've
the
got.
freebie I wanted to roll for
Okay.
for heat.
I did
All right.
stress and heal.
So reduce heat. Then you can you get to roll pretty much anything you want for this one. You just have to make it make sense. The example gives in the book is consort. Consort. I always say that wrong. So you
We
can
know
roll
what it
consort,
means.
or if you have another, you can justify another one.
I mean, consort sounds pretty good given how Salome deals with literally everything. So yeah, we'll do that. And then we have the special ability now. We get to take the higher, or do I roll an extra dice?
You get an extra die.
Okay, so I roll 2 dice,
Yeah.
and we
it's
take
just
the higher, or we get both.
when you reduce heat on the crew, take
No.
+1 die.
Yeah, you take 1 die, and then you're taking the higher of those 2 dice.
Got it. 6. So we
Okay.
clear it.
So you clear 3.
3 heat.
3 heat. So you're down to 1 heat, right?
We're down to 1, and then we need to do our thing. Our gambling den thing.
Oh yeah.
Tier roll
Money!
minus heat equals money.
Yay. So
Okay.
tier roll is 1.
And
then we minus 1
our
from
heat
this
is what?
roll.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I'm glad we did this in this order. Da da da. And just 1 dice. Okay. 6. It's the 3rd time in a row this fucking green dice has rolled a
Damn.
6.
We get $5.
$5
whole
whole dollars.
Yeah, and so y'all can. Does that go to your crew stash, or does that just allocate wherever y'all want?
We
it?
just get it, yeah.
Okay.
It's just extra
Nice.
coin. Do we want 1 each and then to put 1 in the vault?
Sure.
Works for me.
All right. We now have
How much
know-
heat do we have?
we have 1 heat. Our wanted level is 2, and we currently have 8 coin in our vaults.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, our heat has now gone down to 1. But I get the coin back I spent on my injury.
Yeah.
Hey.
Same.
Roll for a couple things too.
I know that
Awesome.
job was crazy, but we came out pretty good.
Does anybody else have anything they wanted to spend coin on to do another action?
Well, let me double check the actions, because I do feel like Grackle in particular would be trying to like compensate for the fact that she turned a simple sneaking job into a
Yeah.
very loud job.
You know, that's fair.
But our heat is pretty much taken care of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do 1 more stress relief. I'm at 4. That's 2 out of 6, 1/3 chance of going over.
How's about I start a project where I try to get Steiner set up?
Oh, I like that.
Like maybe start working on a new, either a new a new identity for him, or like finding a way to like fake him into like the good graces of some faction.
That could be fun too, because that could be fun for us.
That sounds like a Salome move.
Get him in good with somebody that hates us.
Oh, and then he can be an informant. Ah, I like it.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. What sort of project do we want to get started on regarding him?
Who do we want inside info on?
Oh, gods. So many people. Okay, let me go to the red string board.
Okay.
We have the drama with the red sashes having kind of caused the corporate takeover, if you will, of the crows, right?
Mm.
That's still very fun, valuable info. I think the hive still hates us as well, correct?
I think it's less important to get him in with somebody who hates us, and more important to get him in with somebody who hates the Baron. Or maybe that's not the move. I'm not sure. It'd be easier to get him in with somebody who hates the Baron. My thing is that like it has to be a person who's a good match for somebody who like has a history. So like this guy
Mhm.
definitely went to jail and now he's not in jail anymore. Like
Listen,
who's gonna be cool with that?
listen.
You
Here's
cool?
my
Are you cool?
suggestion. You remember how, like, way back when we had, like, rich people and then they had the little goblins living in their basement they just paid to do art and stuff for them?
Yeah.
What if Lord Skurlock needs a hitman?
Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna give Lord Skurlock a hitman? Wait, hold the phone. Isn't Lord Skurlock already trying to kill demons?
Yeah, actively. I don't know if we know that though. I think only Glass knows that.
Okay.
Listen, your buddy can be the weird little goblin living in Lord Skurlock's basement who gets released every now and again when Lord Skurlock needs a demon killed.
Can we say we don't know what exact end we're going towards yet, but we can decide exactly what it is once the clock resolves?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on like what do you see like what is the project? Is the
Um,
project just like get Steiner a job? Is kind of
yeah,
like
Get him
essentially.
a new identity, basically,
Yeah.
so he can start working.
sure.
Again.
Yeah, I'm fine with saying like new identity for Steiner, and then once that resolves, we can progress
Decide what
it.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, that would be
The Steiner Protection Agency.
let's see. I'm going back to the projects. So we're doing this as a long-term project.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to decide how difficult this is. Steiner is wanted.
A wanted man.
I'm gonna make this a 6-segment clock.
Wait.
So let's do new Steiner. New. Wait, why isn't it doing that? Add. There we go. Steiner.
Come on, clocks.
Come on, Coldplay.
Oh, you can push more coin into rolls to make the result level higher
Yes, you can.
On long-term projects?
on downtime activities.
On like all downtime activities?
That seems to be what my
Yeah.
cheat sheet is
Yeah,
implying.
you can spend coin to essentially make the roll better.
Yeah, after a roll, you may spend coin to improve the result level.
To the roll.
Increasing the result level for each coin spent. So you can spend a coin to make a 1 to 3, a 4 or 5, a 4 to 5 to become a 6, or a 6 to become a critical.
Incredible.
Okay, so I put a new ID on there for Steiner. And I think I'm trying to remember if you get to go ahead and make progress towards it. Yeah, when you work on a long-term project, either a brand new one or already existing one, describe what your character does, advance the project clock, and roll one of your actions. So you get to go ahead and describe what you're doing and roll an action.
Okay. Essentially, Grackle is going to flip through all of the people that she or Steiner has taken out and try and look for a feasible identity for him to take on.
Okay.
Either that or find a feasible target to take out and then make that his identity.
Sure. Yeah. Somebody that you can make disappear and Steiner can step in. Yeah, I dig that. So that almost sounds. I mean, what skill are you thinking for that?
Hunt, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
sounds it.
So go ahead and roll hunt.
Can do. That's two
Fuck.
sixes.
So that's 5 ticks on this project. So it's almost completed. Damn. All right. Well, good job.
The hyper focus is real.
Grackle makes him shave his mustache.
Then that does all of it. That's like 90% of his
That's all-
personality is the
that's it?
mustache.
Wait, then the implication back at the prisoner camp where he has the mustache on. They'll never find him now.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Oh my god. Okay. So is that it for downtime for everyone?
I believe so.
I think so.
Okay.
I was debating about spending a coin, but I think I'll save it.
We have a lot to cover here. Things that resolved during downtime. One is an we have
I
two
saw you rolling
entanglements.
all them fortune dice, sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We so a couple of things in progress to let y'all know. Your
Mhm.
reputation with the Spirit Wardens and the Iron Hook Prison declined. So you're at a -1 with both of them.
Oof.
You also and then we also have 2 entanglements now. Council hearings have concluded, and research the crystal has concluded. I'm going to save council hearings for a bit. We need to narrate the entanglements. We need to narrate the crystal. Let's do the crystal first. Fume. Describe like what you're doing in your research.
Fume has set the crystal onto like a miniature dice that has like the
Ooh, hold on. Was it Melvir or was it Fume that was researching this crystal?
I think it was both of us.
Maybe it was the two
Together?
together.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that even more.
Yeah, I like that.
So Fume is set up in Melvir's shop. They have like the microscope with the changeable lenses set up, just viewing into the crystal. There is like electroplasm that's being force fed into the crystal occasionally at varying voltages, and Fume is walking over with a clipboard, just like writing the like readings or whatever he has going on.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, if there's like anything significant that he can put like the data to versus like, oh, this would mean that this and this like correlates,
Mm-hmm.
like, so he's doing like that research on the side as well.
Okay. Remind me of something. I have a question for Grackle. Grackle had a specific connection to this crystal and got some
Yes.
evidence from it. Did you tell Melvir about that?
Oh, that's
And it doesn't matter like whether we remember or not. Like, would Grackle have?
would Grackle have told him? Yeah, I think so. I think Melvir would know. Yeah. Grackle would have told Melvir.
Okay.
I think I'm even remembering now that she did.
Okay. As you're finishing you're going over the script. I'm imagining like imagining Fume and Melvir kind of like in Arcane. What's the two scientists that are working on the hex gems, the hex crystals.
Oh, Victor
and
Jace.
Victor and Jace.
Jace,
Yep.
yeah. Where they're kind of working on it in the lab. They've got the crystal on like a little like magnetic stand, or like it's like hovering in the air. And they're trying different frequencies to try to get some sort of resonance from it to try to figure out exactly like how it works. I mean, because there's something, it's like this is I mean, all holes have at their core some sort of like Sparkcraft gemstone crystal power source inside, and they run based on the terms of Sparkcraft. Like they run on that spectral energy. Most of the time with old holes that were created. It was inhabited by a spirit, like without any name or like any sort of semblance of its former life. They were sort of a spirit was pulled from the ether, put into this hole craft, and then set to automate some sort of purpose. It had no like sense of there was no like intelligence to it. There's no sapience to the holes. They just sort of used the energy of the spirit to fulfill some sort of purpose. Holecraft has advanced to a point where they're now looking to create, or they can now use it to house like a sentient, like intact soul. So the crystals, the heartstones that every person in Dustfall is implanted with can then be housed within a hole, and it can be used fully autonomously by that person. They still have their own free will, their own choice. They inhabit it like it's their own body. This is definitely this crystal is definitely a heartstone, or it was. And through your like preliminary experimentations, you were able to sort of identify that these heartstones are that this is a heartstone, but it has been like modified in some way. The exact nature of which is what you're still trying to determine, because as far as you can tell, there is still a spirit inside of it. Somebody's soul is within this heartstone, but it doesn't respond in the way that a normal heartstone that has been pulled from somebody's body, from a corpse, would respond. Does that make sense?
Essentially, they have pulled a soul from the ether, put it into another heartstone?
No.
Or is it like just...
So this is somebody who died's
right
heartstone.
Okay.
And something has been done to it. Again, this is the early stuff. This isn't what you've learned. This is just like, this is the foundational knowledge I'm giving you to make sure, to remind us.
Someone has modified it to make the spirit complacent?
That's what you're trying to find. That's what you've been trying to find out, is like what they did to it, because you saw the way this hole moved and the way like it acted with some sort of drive or purpose, but not necessarily like you couldn't reason with it. You weren't able to speak with it. It didn't seem to have any sort of like sentience to it in the way that just like if you took somebody's heartstone and plopped it in a hole, it would act.
So it's like it's a newer hull with older hull tendencies.
Kind of, yeah. It's like somebody has
put an inhibitor on the heartstone itself.
Kind of. So the two of you are working on it, and you have this like this project you've been working on to sort of decrypt some. I think Melvir has a theory. Both of you are kind of more specialized in like sparkcraft. And neither one of you have a lot of knowledge into necessarily like the occult. And so you've probably pulled some research either like through like Glass's help or just your own research or maybe something you've gotten from Skurlock along the way, because there seems to be something in here. And so what you have crafted here through your own research is that your Melvir's theory was that this was not modified through an act of sparkcraft, but through some sort of through a ritual process, something that did not modify the crystal, but rather the energy inside of it, the nature of the soul. Because like arcane, occult forces, magic, as you would put it, is tapping into and modifying energy. That's like the scientific understanding of how like magic works in this world. It's the modification of energy instead of the manipulation of energy. Sparkcraft uses one type of energy to do hundreds of different things. Magic takes that energy and fundamentally changes it to do something else. which Sparkcraft does not do. It's not something that
Sparkcraft is physics, where it works within the bounds of the rules. The Soulcraft thing is breaking those rules.
Yeah, essentially, like you're turning. Sparkcraft is using electricity to accomplish
Wizards
to
versus sorcerers. Got it.
Versus magic or occult practitioners take electricity and turn it into something else. Turn it into wind and water and fire and that kind of stuff. But what has happened here is the energy, instead of just being that kind of ethereal, kind of the energy that's pulled from Leviathan blood is what runs the city. That's like the foundational energy source for Duskfall and most of the settled world. It is modified to, it essentially just like pulls the energy from it and uses that electricity to power. Heartstones themselves is a more the theoretical process of, or the understanding of from like an academic standpoint, Sparkcraft standpoint, is it is a raw form of energy. Like the human soul is a more raw form of energy, is a more it's more pure, but it's weaker than like Leviathan blood. But there is like a connection between the two. Is Leviathan blood like the soul of an ancient being that is being used, or is it something different? And that's like secrets and theories of Sparkcraft that have not yet been discovered. So what Melvir has done is set up sort of a ritual circle, some sort of using like basic understandings of occult principles to perhaps decode exactly what has been done here. The two of you are working on, I think Melvir looks at you and says, increase the oscillation on the outer
10%, 10%, I got it.
Right. I'm going to dial up the stabilization, and you can see the whole thing begins to vibrate and hum a bit more.
Watch that vector, will you?
Right. I'm keeping an eye on it. It's within parameters and it shouldn't cause any damage yet. And is keeping like the two of you are in this intricate dance of like of modifying this field, of keeping it within expectations, but pushing it to the boundaries to try to get something. And Melvir is sort of looking at the dials. I think you have like certain like little readout devices that are measuring the energy outputs, like
Fume has like a pair of headphones on that's listening to the frequency, so if it spikes too hard he can like reach a lever and pull it down.
And so it's oscillating like wildly at this point. You're trying to stabilize it and working on it. As something happens first, though. So you've got this headset on and you're listening into the field here, and you hear like this. There's just like this crackling and this like groaning of like the energy. The field's like pulling at each other, like repelling each other. It's this really like discordant sound. Cutting through that, you begin to hear something else. Is like a voice like that's being stretched for a moment. It just
there we have echoes.
All right. Let me dial into that frequency again. And it begins to adjust some things, and it begins to oscillate slightly differently, like holding on to that frequency from before. And as it does, you hear that like kind of in reverse, and it begins to like stabilize a bit more. Some of that background noise begins to get filtered out, and it goes quiet for a second, like crystal clear. And you hear an echoing voice from within. Bertrand. Bertrand. Is that you?
Fume's eyes go wide.
Melvir begins to say, I don't understand. There's nothing coming from the crystals. Are we picking up on an outside frequency? Should I attempt to filter it out?
Fume has gone quiet, then shakes his head. Yes, filter out that noise, please.
All right, I'll work on it. It seems something's interfering. And you hear that voice in your head says, Bertrand, it's me. And it cuts out, and that like static begins to come back. Melvier looks over at you. What is Melvier seeing?
Fume has white knuckle gripped one of the dials and is just slowly cranking it so that the filter gets a little bit cleaner, dialing it more towards the Hearthstone than the voice that he heard.
Okay.
And there's like... No one has ever seen Fume angry before. But it is the small body contains so much terror that radiates out of it. Like, if nothing is done within the next couple of days, something in the city is getting blown up.
I think Melvier looks over at you for a second and is continuing to manipulate some dials and says, Fume, you all right?
No, but we have a job to do, so let's crack on, shall we?
All right, if you say so. We can stop if you need to.
We're at the cusp, Melvier. Just a little push over the edge, as they say.
All right. And continues to push on the dials, that filter kind of kicking in a bit more. There is a moment where you see that crystal like vibrate at such an intense frequency that brilliant, like there's that dull red inside where you saw like that kind of like that strange like discoloration of the Hearthstone, it growing a bit brighter, and the gemstone glows and then stabilizes at a point, and then it settles and like almost like it stops vibrating, like it is like perfectly still in the air. And Melvier says, I think we've got something here. And you begin to watch as from that perfectly still ruby, something begins to sort of emanate from it, a like a mist almost coming off of it. It doesn't like dissipate from the crystal, almost like it like seeps out from imperceivable like flaws and cracks within the crystal, outward, but it stays there, like it's suspended in like suspended animation around the crystals, these tendrils like snaking out. But they hold there, and they begin to quiver slightly at the oscillation of this like of this field you have created, like they're feeding into the electricity. The crystal perfectly still. This is the only movement you're seeing from it, but it's like they extend to a point and then it just stops. This like mist vapor, almost like a liquid coming out of it. That just holds there. And Melvier sort of continue to like, not really messing with dials, just like slight tweaks to it, says, I don't understand what this is.
It's not a feedback.
No, it's as if there's something else, something besides Fume. It's as if there's something that has been put into the gemstone.
Fume takes off the headphones and will head over to Melvier to inspect the gemstone as well.
You walk up to it and you inspect it, like, safety goggles, like moving in closer, and you can see like the tendrils moving. And as you look at it closely, you see that movement it's strange. It's like this oily, like the like I said, it's like something between a mist and a liquid, like not quite an aerosolized like liquid. It's like in that half state,
almost like a runnier goo.
Kind of, yeah. As you're looking at it, it's this dark black with this almost like purple. Well, no, it like almost like greenish sheen, and then it shifts to another color. It's like prismatic effect along the like every slight adjustment, the lighting, the way it hits is this black undercurrent, but like the light causes prismatic effect against the liquid or this substance.
Yes, I can see that too. What is that? Fume will take a step closer.
Melvir sort of hits something, and you can see it kind of like solidify a bit more. And as it does, I think it dawns on you at the same time as Melvir says it out loud and says, It looks like Leviathan blood.
Dead gods and dancing demons. You might be right.
It's as if they've infused Leviathan blood straight into the hearts. To what end?
Well, Leviathan blood in itself is an accelerant sometimes, but I figure it could be distilled down, yes, into some drug-type properties, induces some sort of stupor. What if that's what's containing the spirit?
Your guess is as good as mine at this point. I can't say I understand it fully. And you watch as the crystal actually has been perfectly still for a moment, shudders just slightly, and you look down. Melvir looks down at the dials, and you watch as like they begin to spin, and you see some sparking from the machine. And Melvir says, "The capacitors are overloading. We can't hold it like this for much longer.
Shut it off! Shut it off!"
Begins to power everything down. As it does, like it begins to shake a bit more. That black vapor, the substance, the Leviathan blood around it, kind of expands outward, and Melvir finally like reaches and he just rips out like a bundle
Power
of cords from it, and the whole thing kind of powers down. You watch as this vapor kind of pulls back into the crystal, and the crystal ting falls to the table.
Whoa, that's... I've seen a lot in my life, and that's not right.
No, I would say not. Just looking at like the sparking machine in front of you.
I will help you replace this.
No, it's fine. I built it for this purpose, and we learned what we needed
Well,
to from it.
During the whole power down thing, I sort of had an idea, and we might need this machine in the future.
To what end?
There's a very archaic method of extracting a soul from a soul stone. What if we can filter that out past the Leviathan blood?
Trying to transfer it to an uncorrupted vessel.
My only problem with that being, what did they replace with said Leviathan blood? What will be missing when we implant the new soul in said soul stone? Will it even be considered human at that point?
I don't know. I'm not sure what prolonged exposure infusion with Leviathan blood would do to a person. Most would die from the exposure, but that's usually a physical death. Corruption of the soul.
What indeed kills the soul?
Or changes it.
Just an idea then, if it ever pushes your fancy.
Right. Well, I'll catalog our findings and conduct more research. Perhaps.
Should I report this to Grackle or keep this on the down low for now?
I see no reason to keep secrets from her. pass it along. No progress in reversing the process, but at least we understand it a bit more now.
Aye, to that. My dear Melville, I think we both could use a very stiff drink.
Agreed. I'll whip something up. Melvir takes the stone, puts it back in the case that you've been storing it in, and to lock away. And
what's the damage like on the parts that Fume was working on, specifically the spectrograph headphone thing?
It depends. We could say it's a separate device.
As Melvir is mixing the drink, he will head over to that, put the headphones on, and flip it open again, and try to dial back to the frequency he heard the voice on.
You pull up the while Melvir is off distracted, you take a second to dial it in. You're getting a lot of this static. And as the static hits a point where you like dial it back into that frequency, you hear that voice again coming through and pulling and then solidifying into something understandable. It says, Bertrand.
Emilian, are you there?
Where am I?
I don't know, little brother, but I'm coming to get you soon.
Please hurry.
I will.
I hate the dark.
And I hate to leave you there, but I must go for now. I'll try to contact you again later, alright?
As the static comes back.
Fume flicks the switch, puts his headphones off. Before Melvir can even get back with the drinks, there is like the door is open and it's just shutting behind him.
Fume leaves. Wonderful. All right. Well, that's crystal research and first entanglement done. Glass. Okay. Glass went to indulge in their vice. Without getting, we don't have to get too much in the logistics of that. But like, so do we remember what the name of the place was? The something Swan?
No, I can't. I couldn't find it.
And we can come up with something else. You don't have to use the original name.
Why would you put me on the spot and ask me to name something?
That's fine.
You know what's gonna happen.
Jimothy.
I liked like the Swan Song or something like that because
that works
it's
great for
suitably bleak for
that works great.
Okay, so you are at this. It's like a pleasure barge kind of situation, right? What beyond the obvious of carnal delights, that kind of stuff, does Glass, as far as indulging in pleasure, is it just physical? Is there spiritual? Like, is any of it like connected with Glass's like abilities or connection to the spirit.
Yeah, no,
say
there's
whisper.
definitely a spiritual aspect to it. Um, because that's like the Glass doesn't talk about their past, really, like ever. Salome, I think, is the only one that has like any insight into that, and even then, like it's not a lot. But that's like that is sort of like the basis of everything that they have become, and so they work very hard to not think about everything that's happened to them most of the time, and so when they indulge, it is very much like I am trying to feel something that is like some kind of semblance of normal and real, because they're so like at this point so detached from everything. Um, so yeah, I think that now that they've really gotten really deep into the whisper stuff, which was not always a part of their life. It was just like at one point it was like sort of like a passing interest, and now it's like their whole thing. So I don't think it ever really goes away. I think it's always like a part of whatever they're doing.
You so you're it I'm let's set a scene here then. You're on this barge. It's probably like moored in Silk Shore. Like you come to like partake like when it is in the Silk Shore district, not too far from the jewelry box. You've had a delightful evening full of all of Glass's wildest desires. And you're currently in this like silk adorned like room with cushions across the floor. I imagine several empty bottles of wine. Your company has recently departed, leaving you alone in the room. Perhaps some like I don't know if Glass partakes in like dream smoke or anything like that. Maybe you're still a bit high. Like coming down from the night's activities, like reaching that like that that controlled buzz from maybe the fervor of the last few hours. And as you are sort of lying there and resting and kind of preparing yourself like for your time is almost up here, the lantern, there are two twin lanterns on either side of the bed that you're on, and they both kind of spark just for a moment, like the power fluctuation.
Odd.
And it happens again, fluctuates one more time, and then the power dims as you see sparks in the air forming above you. And from those sparks, a shape begins to form. And you see forming there, well, I will let you describe them as you see Nyx begin to form.
Oh gosh. It's been so long since I thought about it. What would they look like? So I think like sort
Or
of.
sorry, Nyx, not Nyx. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I know there's a bunch of Y's in there. I don't think I've ever actually said it out loud.
Yeah.
I think very like sort of a very like androgynous figure, very tall, thin, sort of like very like angular, like almost a little like too angular features. You know when someone's face is like super symmetrical
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, wow, how do you exist? Really like long, loose, like blonde hair, and just really bright blue eyes.
You see this spectral form appearing above you, and in that reverberating, ghostly whisper, you hear them say, "Lass,
What are you doing here?
open the door," and disappears.
Oh God, not now. Pull some clothes on. Okay.
You move over.
Open the door.
Open the door, and you see immediately as you open the door, pushes in physical body of a courtesan, young woman, very very tan, or like sun-kissed skin with short brown like brunette hair. You see she's worked here before. You've maybe employed, you've paid for her services some a few times, but pushes in and turns towards you, and you can see that kind of faded, like that bluish like glow to her eyes. You see her heartstone kind of sparking slightly as you realize Nirix has possessed this person, and pushes into the room, says, "Glass, you're in trouble.
I'm off work. Do we have to do this now?
If you want to stay alive, then yes.
What does that mean?
There is a spirit warden here looking for you."
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to say that again.
There is a spirit warden here looking for you.
Why?
I don't know.
What? Okay, explanations later. Okay. Then I suppose we're leaving.
I think that's a good idea.
I don't need the attitude right now, alright?
Listen, I'm here doing you a favor.
So do you have a way out, or am I just gonna stumble along and find my
Yes,
own?
follow me. And begins to move, like grabs your wrist and begins to pull you towards the door.
Okay.
The leads out into the hallway. You hear like the sounds of revelry and everything throughout the barge. Begins to pull you down a hall, like pushing past some people, and somebody like gets pushed to the side and says, "Lizzie, what's wrong with you?" And she's Nirix in this front says, "Not now," and begins to like pull you down the hall.
Sorry.
You hear like whisperings and conversation behind you. Leads you like down a flight of stairs to one of the like the main deck levels, begins around a corner, and then immediately stops, kind of pulls you back, says, kind of looks around, says, "Oh, they're right there, they're right there."
I'm entirely too high for this.
I need you to sober up now.
I'm working on it.
Does Glass peer around the corner?
Yeah, just a little bit.
You look kind of around the corner with Nirix, and you see at the end of the hall, certainly speaking with the madam of the barge, the proprietor, the owner of the Swan Song, is a figure dressed in all black with a cowl, has a belt with several weapons on it, small device sort of clicking to the side that's like spinning and sparking, and you can see peeking out that they're not facing your direction, kind of like to the side of you a little bit. You see a like a tarnished silver mask that they are wearing. They seem to be speaking with the owner.
Suppose I always knew this day would come.
Well, unless you wish to turn yourself in right now, perhaps we should get going, right?
Of course, yeah.
Right.
Any bright ideas?
Kind of like looks around, like the entrance, like the gangplank that lead onto the barge from the docks, is that direction. Nirix stops, looks across the hall and says, well, you're not going to like it, but and quickly darts across the hall, opening the door and motioning for you to follow.
Okay, I sneak.
Go ahead and roll to prowl.
Oh, good thing I just leveled this one up. You, ooh, come on, please. Oh, that's a 5.
A 5. You make it across the hall, but as you do, you turn to the side and you, well, not so much lock eyes because you can't see the eyes necessarily beneath the mask in this lighting, but you see them turn and notice you and begin to immediately push past the madam and pushing in your direction. You hear a shout from him. He says, "Stop! You wait!" As they begin to pursue. Nerix has pulled you into the room, like shuts it behind,
Gonna
grabs
bar the door.
yeah, grabs a like an armoire and throws it in front of the door, and moves across to a window leading out into the that overlooks the canal.
Oh, you're joking.
And pushes it open and says, "Well, looks like you're getting wet."
If a hagfish so much as looks in my direction.
You hear the door. Doof, doof, doof.
I like this shirt.
Good luck. As you leap out of the door, just as you hear an explosion from inside of the wood breaking, you fall into the dark, murky, oily waters of the canals of Silk Shore. The sound disappearing from around you. There is a kind of a flash above you, and then you see kind of a glow like illuminating above the water, where of Nerix's spirit now having detached from Lizzie the courtesan, sort of leading you forward as you swim through the water following the light. Eventually reaching the shore, you breach the surface. Nerix kind of forming in a small like canal tunnel here as you hoist yourself up, and you hear Nerix saying, "I would offer to lend you a hand, but I lost mine."
It's fine. It's disgusting.
Yeah, you pull out of the water. It's just dirty, grimy. Your clothes are soaked through, ruined. You're sort of like hovering next to you along the edge of the waterway.
Don't suppose you're one of those that can like summon a nice breeze?
No, not my specialty.
What is your specialty? It's possession, I know.
Nerix just sort of like waits for you to figure that out yourself.
I know what it is, I just not in the greatest mood.
Well,
Ugh.
let's just say you owe me one now.
Alright.
Why are the spirit wardens looking for you?
Why wouldn't the spirit wardens be looking for me at this point?
Have you been causing a scene lately?
I mean, yes and no. I wasn't seen. I don't think.
Are you sure about that?
I suppose we can never be 100% sure. Well, this is concerning.
More concerning for me, I might say.
Oh, really?
Do you know what they'll do if they find me?
Well, can't you just disappear?
Dissolved in ectoplasm.
They're not going to find you. I can barely find you when I need you.
I would appreciate if you do something about this.
I'm going to do something about it. This is fine. It's fine. throw them off the
Right.
trail. It's not a problem. I'll handle it.
Fine. I'll leave you to your knitting business then.
Aren't we supposed to be friends? I have enemies who speak to me more politely than you.
I'm a bit on edge.
Oh, you're a bit on edge. I just took a swim in the canal.
I've been avoiding disintegration all day.
And right now, there are 2 of you in front of me. I hate that, actually, more than I thought I would.
Go sober up.
Judgy.
I'll be keeping an eye out.
I have some friends who might be able to help.
Good. Let's hope they can put this business to rest.
If you hear anything else, let me know. I'd love to know what the inciting incident was.
I doubt I'll be able to find that out for you, but my guess, tampering with things that you shouldn't have.
It's what I do.
And you're too good at it.
Apparently not good enough.
I should go before any see me.
Right. Be safe.
You too. There's a the spectral energy dissolves, electricity flowing out into a nearby lamp, and then soon kind of surging down the street.
Fuck.
And those are your reprisals. Enemy factions makes a move against you. You have the option, and we'll play this out in narrative, but just so y'all know the mechanics of this, you can either pay them 1 rep and 1 coin per tier of the enemy as an apology, or you do that, allow them to mess with you and yours, or fight back and show them who's boss. So you let things stay the same, pay them, or fight them. You would have to pay 4 rep and 4 coin for the Spirit Wardens.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So, that being the final entanglement, I will give you one more thing. And we might have some time for y'all to maybe deal with some of this or talk about what you're going to do about some of this. But the next, that probably happened like towards the end of these few weeks. Actually, let's just do this. Glass, as you are returning, I imagine you walk back to the jewelry box.
Yep.
The sun is beginning to rise. It's like early in the morning. People begin to come out. So you're like beginning to dry off, but still a little bit damp. Shoes squeaking underneath you as you're walking back across the walkways over the canals, leading back to your shop. As you come around the corner, there is a post boy, a paper boy, standing up on a box, waving papers around, hawking them to passersby, yells out, "New news from the council today. Meetings have concluded. New minister of Sparkcraft and whole creation established. Council approves. Recent proposal. Read all about it. Here," and begins to like wave around the papers for people to sell.
I'll read all about it.
You walk over, flip the boy a coin. He hands you paper. He's like, "Here you go," and hands it to you.
Thank you.
It's my new favorite NPC.
Who is this?
the-
Timmy?
We're
Timmy the
adopting
paper
him.
boy?
yes, it's Timmy the paper boy.
Thanks,
Oh, you mean our
Tim.
son? That's our son.
If anything happens, we're burning this ward down. You know that, right?
Be careful,
you
don't fall off that box. It's quite tall.
Oh no, I'd never fall off of this. I've the best balance in all of Silkshore. I do. Yes, I do.
All right.
Look at me, stand on one leg.
Please
and
don't. You're making me very nervous.
stands on one leg, starts jumping up and down.
Okay. Yes, all right. You're very talented. Get back to work.
I can pop it up on its side too. Stand on that.
Please don't.
Turns over the
Please.
side, jumps
Timothy?
up on top of that.
If it had wheels, I'd call it a skateboard.
Yeah, look at this, and then like kick flips the box,
Nope,
landing back on top of it.
I will take responsibility for a lot of things. I am walking away. I will not be responsible for a child falling off a box. That is where I draw the line.
Uh,
Skateboards are never gonna happen, Timmy.
I'm telling you, everyone will be on a skateboard by the end of the year.
No one's gonna want to do that.
You
Keep your dream alive.
you take your paper,
Dreaming is still how the strong survive.
heading back to the jewelry box. I assume you take a look at it.
Yeah.
You pause here. You see a on the front page of the paper, as you would expect for news this big. It seems that the council has concluded their hearings regarding the proposals over Spark research, whole creation, and their allowance for the like transfer of heartstones into more advanced hullcraft, and whether it's going to be legalized by the Empire and by Duskfall. It seems that the bill has passed, and thus legalizing the whole craft creation and the use of, or continued use of, this technology. However, in reading through the announcement, it seems in order to essentially I guess legitimize the practice and bring it under sort of Dustfall governance and administration, they have created a new sort of position within the council for the that will like govern this. This minister of Hullcraft will be responsible for overseeing the construction. Will essentially head the Dustfall I guess center, like the business that will essentially create these devices for people. That it's all being like it's moving out of the private sector into the public sector, I guess is the easiest way to put it.
Okay, I'm flipping. Who is it?
And you see an image. It's like a drawn. Obviously, there's no like photography, but so it's a detailed like etching of the council standing in front of the city council chambers, granting or announcing this new councilman that will be sitting on the sitting in this office. And you see a rather stout and tall, broad-shouldered figure with a stately mustache, wearing a bowler hat.
I knew it.
You see the Baron.
I stopped in my tracks, like in the middle of the jewelry box. I just kind of fold it back so that part's on top. And I just immediately to Grackle's room. We're done. We're not putting on airs anymore. This has gotten serious. We immediately to Grackle's room. Bang on the door.
It'd be too Looney Tunes for a Grackle to answer the door.
One like they're standing on the doorknob, like knocking over the
Yeah.
like pulls it up. It's a little
Lover,
too
I've got
Looney Tunes for me.
Grackles.
Thank you, ladies.
Grackle opens the door,
I'm
Just like-
disgusting. Like
just like filling it.
half wet, oily, salty.
Yeah. Just like wrinkles nose, but like aside from that, no reaction.
Just hand the paper. We have a problem.
Looks at the paper. She's going straight to Salome.
I'm following her.
So now we've got Glass and Grackle. Going
Bang
to
on
Salome.
Fume's door on the way down. Wake up!
Yep.
Fume is just coming up the stairs. What?
We've got a problem.
What kind of problem?
A barren problem.
Yeah. He has a coaster with a bit of coffee on it. He was gonna deliver it to Salome's room. Did you inform the boss about this?
I take the coffee and drink it.
Okay.
Don't speak to me.
I'll make more coffee then.
Grackle darkens Salome's door.
It's like dawn. Yeah, she's asleep.
It's extremely early.
Yeah, it's like crack of dawn.
Asleep. Do you bang on the door or do you just walk in?
Do you want to wake her up or should I?
I don't know. Like, would that be normal? Would that be a thing that Grackle can do? Can Grackle go in your room?
Okay.
Yeah, Grackle can go in my room. Yeah.
Okay. Grackle Batman's into the room, just and we'll tap on the door frame.
Complete start up, like knife under the pillow. Huh? What?
Just gently place the newspaper in your lap and then just take a step back and fold her hands.
Good morning.
Where were you?
All over town, really.
You smell like it.
Took a dip in the canal. We can talk about that later.
Grackle shoots a look at the Grackle that's supposed to be keeping track of Glass.
It shrugs.
Am I very good, or does that Grackle need some remedial training?
I think you're rubbing off on it.
Oh, it likes me.
It like staggers a
Aw,
little bit. It's a
I
little
didn't want to
drunk.
get you in trouble.
It's a little drunk. Shh, straighten up, straighten up. It's Louie.
Where's my coffee?
Fume's getting it.
Looks at Grackle.
This complicates things.
It definitely moves things forward.
I'm sorry, why are the two timetables moving forward? Your coffee, madame.
Thank you.
The Baron's a minister now.
Of what? Assholery?
Sparkcraft and whole
Sparkcraft.
creation.
Motherfucker!
That's what I
That
thought you
was
would
my
say.
job.
That was my thing!
Well, I didn't
An
vote for him.
election or anything.
If some watery tot came out and said I was the new prime minister... I'm sorry, I've had very
Now
little
we see the violence inherent in the system.
Right. What do we do about it then? It does plug up a couple of things for me. You're muted, Sid.
And it definitely complicates some long-term contingencies.
I hate to make things worse, but we've an extra complication to throw into the mix.
Does it involve your new clone?
I'd leave the barge unconventional. way. Someone's looking for me.
Who?
A spirit warden.
That's bad.
So is a dip in the canal.
The bath is running for you, by the way. It's heating, so by the end of this conversation, you'll have something warm to look forward to.
Thank you.
Everyone, go to your corners. I need breakfast. And I need to think.
This isn't just bad for us. We don't want this man within 50 feet of any hull craft.
This is bad for Duskfall.
You saw what he did to that thing.
Yes.
Well, we know now, at the very least, what they've done to that hull. I'll speak of it after breakfast. Or during, if you wish.
Wait a second. Since when are you working with Melvir?
Since the start of said project. I offered. You said yes.
God damn it. Melvir never tells me anything anymore.
You, Bath, you... Come get some coffee, pointing over to Grackle. Meet in the dining room in an hour, I guess. Oh, sorry, said you muted yourself again.
Mike's gating me. Fume, may I have a word?
Of course.
Let the other two shuffle out.
Yeah. Grackle goes to finish making coffee.
I like keeping secrets. They're a currency, really. At least in my line of work. But I don't like keeping them among the people closest to me. One, I like information. Concrete. Cut. Dry. And helpful. But also it doesn't feel right. I heard your conversation with Old Skurlock.
How much of it?
All of it.
Ah, well. You know, I finally found a kindred spirit in this whole immortality affair, so I guess I did let my guard down a bit. The real question is now, Madame Salome, what do you wish to do with said information? Given you've heard all of it, and someone very vested in me is currently making coffee for themselves.
Nothing more than what you would like to do with it. But, given, points to the paper, that, I found it more pressing for you to know that I know.
You took me in at my lowest point in decades. You gave me a house, a home, a job. If you need to betray my trust to save your skin, I wouldn't blame you. But...
She slaps him.
Ow!
How dare you? In all the years you've known me, have I ever betrayed your trust to save myself?
You should have let me finish. I wouldn't have minded it as much. Because I trust you wholly with this information.
right. The slap was a little preemptive.
I deserve it for things in the past, I guess. Call it comeuppance.
Hmm.
I heard him the other day, you know. Working with Melvia.
Heard who? I don't believe that was part of.
No, you probably missed that part. My brother, I've told this story to Will, passed a long time ago. When I was messing with that Hearthstone, maybe an echo, maybe a ghost. I don't know yet.
Your brother is within the Hearthstone.
Not within the Hearthstone. I don't know for certain. But there was a frequency that resonated when we were doing some experiments, and we caught his voice. Well, at least I did.
You're being haunted.
Aren't we all?
More than you know.
Well, I'll have some mushroom steaks and eggs ready for you by the time you're done, lest we want to keep sending dodgy messages to each other.
Be careful. There's many lives riding on your work.
I know that.
But now in the doing, your own as well.
Can't promise that I'll be safe, but at the very least I can promise to be careful. Our line of business is a bit temperamental like that.
I'm fine with careful.
I shall leave you then. You've got a little bit of a...
Get out!
From like one of those copper pipes. Grackle! I have told you! You're heating it up too damn much. It's gonna taste like grits. It's going to be bitter.
That's the way it's supposed to taste.
No! You can take your barbaric style of coffee and your Leviathan killer cigarettes outside, lady.
I still don't think you need filters for these things. You just boil it all together.
Oh my gods.
Got to learn sometime.
Did Grackle just invent instant coffee?
No, that's cowboy coffee, baby.
Crunchy coffee.
You boil it till it's tar.
You boil it, and then you pour it off the top.
All right.
Disgusting.
Fume.
Wow.
You can't chew it, it's not coffee.
Well, okay.
Was
That'll
there
be a
anything
conversation for next week.
Yeah, I was saying with everything else, knowing somebody's after glass, Fume's being haunted.
Yay.
Now the news from the council of
Ugh.
the Baron now being very important. More so than before. Perhaps getting up to some shit. Yeah, I think that's where we should end our session for tonight.
Not me Googling what is the shortest time someone's been in office. Assassination, got it.
Well, let's call it there then, y'all. Do our end of session questions. Where are they?
Here we have
All
them
right.
on our playbooks.
I've got them here. Everyone marked all their desperate actions from today, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. playbook specific XP triggers.
You know, I thought about this. And technically it was vengeance to save Steiner, but we already cashed that in last week. I feel
You
like we shouldn't
did.
double dip on that.
No.
I say yeah.
Though I did address a challenge with tracking and or violence.
Yes, you did.
Address a challenge with technical skill or mayhem.
Mine is with knowledge or arcane power.
Heresy.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. And then struggled with issues from your vice or traumas.
Blast did.
Blast definitely
Hey.
had some vice issues.
I did.
Yay!
Boy, howdy, am I gonna have some trauma next week?
Uh,
On away.
I've
awesome.
leveled my resolve.
And then crew advancement.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I have it. Execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft.
I
You
mean,
stole a person.
the person got taken and is alive. So yes, that's successful, right?
We did what we set out to do. Contend with challenges above your current station.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give us 2 for this one. It was the whole session. Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. Our reputation is loyal and flamboyant.
Flamboyant.
Flamboyant as fuck.
Yeah. Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
I mean, yeah, in like all of this, like, okay, we're gonna take Steiner alive. Like, we're gonna come together and, you know, share all this info and solve everybody's problems together.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
That. Crew didn't advance again this time, I'm assuming.
No.
Because y'all advanced last time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that's it. So next session, I guess we'll be doing some free play and then probably a new job, which will depend a lot on where y'all's priorities are at. So something to think about before next time. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call things here. I guess the stars and wishes. I forgot about that. We do stars and wishes in this game.
Ah, crap, the quote stock.
Oh
We
no.
really
forgot
gotta get
again.
that up. We gotta get it up.
Never have that problem.
Yeah,
It's
let's
natural, it's fine.
let's do stars and wishes. If we didn't do any quotes, then that is fine.
I have a quote. It is the like Marvel DC onomatopoeia slap.
Yep.
Yeah. Pow.
Ciao.
Yeah, so Van, do you want to kick us off?
Oh
with your
yeah, sure.
star and
Sorry.
wish? No, it's okay.
I forgot I usually go first. Yeah. My star is gonna go to Fume. I just the whole scene with the doctor and the crystal was just really fun. I just really enjoyed it, and I thought it was well played. I'm excited to get into that more. I think it's gonna be really fun. And my wish remains the same as that I want to get all up in the Baron's business.
Got you now. Damn.
He said we could talk. I want to talk.
Definitely about time for that. I'm excited. Want more Baron. All right. Thank you, Van. Sid.
I think stars to go to Glass. I'm so glad we got to meet Glass's bestie ghost friend. Yay! Finally.
My ghost.
Oh, they're more like they. Oh my god, it felt like siblings, is what it felt
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Like your very annoyed older sister or something. Oh, it was so good. I loved it. I want want to see them more. Can we meet them without screaming and writhing in agony? I don't know.
You can try.
I guess we could try.
I
If
just
they possess someone.
I just on purpose didn't take any points in Attune. I had the opportunity and I was all like, no, I don't want these. I actually don't want these.
Love it. My wish. I don't know. I feel like we're all in all sorts of trouble, all sorts of intrigue. Nom 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 nom. I love it. Yeah. I think just more backstory deep dives.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love all the little bits I've been getting. I want more. I want more.
Definitely can be done. Awesome. Thank you. RJ.
Ooh, it's me. Oh man, I want to just split this star up. I missed all y'all. I missed all these characters. They're so good. Fucking Glass diving headfirst into hag water, Salome having like that talk with Fume, and then Grackle kicking ass in the alley. I'm just, this is the good shit. My wish, I actually haven't had a lot of scenes with Fume and Grackle, so I kind of want to put more of that on the table.
I know how to make a very big scene with Fume and Grackle.
Yeah,
it'd be so easy.
Hey Salome, what's up with Fume? Oh, he's your target. Oh, what?
That there is the elephant in the room. That Grackle has no idea is there.
It's a Grackle with an elephant snout mask. And it just reads Bertrand Faust like around the leg in a little message.
Grackle's got an invisible elephant problem.
Object permanence. That's me though.
Awesome.
That leaves just me, huh?
Yeah.
Gosh, I was gonna star the reveal of Glass's ghost friend. I really love the ghost friend. I'm just gonna star Val for NPC work. A lot of good like voice work in today's episode. Anything that involved ghosts was really fucking good.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to draw attention to that. I want to point and go, that was good. And that's what stars are for, so I'm doing that. My wish is more background stuff. I'm eating it up. I'm absolutely living for this. It's great. Maybe we've seen some of Glass, we've seen some of Fume, we've seen a lot of Grackle. What's that? Where's Salome's past? Like, when's that gonna come up and bite her? I'm curious. I want to know.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially if we get more into, because Scarlock has your book currently, right? Or no, he has the book. I don't remember if you left it with him or not. Yeah, so we need to.
Did leave it with him as a lender.
Yeah. So we've got some stuff to do there. Who knows? Might do some more stuff with Scarlock next week. So yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, that's it, everyone. Thank you everyone out there for watching. We will be back next Saturday to continue our game. Join us in the meantime for other games this week. We'll have the next session of Red Jenny on Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So come join us for that right here. And otherwise, keep a lookout for our schedule. Like I said at the top, join our Discord. Best way to keep up to date with everything that we're doing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to thank my lovely players for being a pleasure to run games for, as always. And thank you everyone out there for watching. We'll see you in a week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.